couple of things that I put up on the X account this morning. I put a lot of stuff on the X account this morning. A couple of things concerning Amy Coney Barrett. One is a split screen of her from the time that she raised her right hand to be confirmed under the Supreme Court. She looks one way. And then today, and she looks completely different. And it says you could see the ideological shift. In other words, she looks hardened. She looks very old now. The left-wing communist mind virus has definitely got into her. The worm has got into her brain, and it's reflecting on the outside because there's nothing attractive on the outside that's not on the inside. And so on the outside, she looks like a left-wing nut job now, when she didn't look that way when she was confirmed. Now, the Babylon Bee has a headline up this morning, "A woman rules it's okay to be late." So that's the Babylon Bee. The president was asked about the Barrett rule yesterday.
Well, because of the mail-in ballot ruling, which was a little bit surprising, gives people more time to vote illegally, let's say.
Cheat by mail.
But, the SAVE Act is even more important, and that's the right. You have to be a citizen of our country. Okay, you have to show you're a citizen of our country, called citizenship. Voter ID by photo voter ID, and no mail-in ballots unless you're in the military, disabled, you're ill, or you're away, or even on a vacation. We're being very open about it.
I don't like that one.
It's pretty easy. And we'll have honest elections. But the ruling, which a lot of people were waiting for, that was a ruling that was, I think it was very detrimental to honest elections. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. Basically,
it is what it is, says the president. What that ruling did yesterday was ensconce what we're seeing with this move toward communism into our election system in the United States of America, because you won't have free and fair elections in the future. And here's why. We saw this happen in California just a couple of weeks ago. We saw it happen in 2020 in the United States of America. If you can continue to count ballots until the person that you want to have win actually wins, like what we just saw in California, and we saw that with Joe Biden as well, that's how the commies in the commie countries do it. Third world elections. Those communist nations, that's how they have dictators like, let's just say Maduro, who's cooling his heels in a D.C. prison right now. That's how he stayed in power for so long, and Hugo Chavez before him, was that you just have corrupt elections. Oh, yeah, we have a vote. We're a democracy. We have an election. You betcha we have an election. But we continue to count votes until the dictator wins. That's exactly what the Democrats are doing. They have put into play now this way to cheat by mail. And I think the president is being real generous by saying you can be on vacation. No, it ought to be you're in the military and you're deployed, or you can't get out of bed. Those are your two reasons to mail in a ballot. Otherwise, like my 91-year-old mother-in-law, she still gets out of the car to go in and vote. She demands. But they will bring a remote system to the car. They told her that. Ms. Hooper, we'll bring a machine out to the car for you. No, I'm going to walk inside. We need same day, one day, paper ballot voting and no mailing it in after the election. None.
I thought the vacation thing was a little, to use his word, more than generous. I kind of stopped at that one, too, watching the press conference yesterday. And the dissenting opinion was, if I'm correct, the Constitution says one day. We have election day. It doesn't have election days. The language isn't, a week or whatever the hell it is. I was kind of reading through this. Obviously, it was breaking while we were on the air yesterday. These decisions were handed down. You and I have been railing against mail-in ballots for a long time. Well, since 2020. And it is the easiest way to cheat. And, we certainly saw that happen in California just a few weeks ago. And, it doesn't make any sense to me. My initial reaction, kind of reading through it after we got off the air, was, I think I'll go by the library tomorrow and vote in the last election. I'm just going to put a date on my forehead with a Sharpie and walk in, election day, on my forehead with Sharpie, and walk into the library and say, hey, I want to vote in that last election. I'm postmarked. It's okay. Basically the same idea, and again, we can look at research. You and I could spend an entire show listing off the research that shows mail-in ballots are the easiest and most profound way to cheat an election.
Well, I'll give you an example. I'll give you the golden rule with mail-in ballots, okay? When you continue to count, it never, ever, ever in the history of this country has benefited Republicans. Every single time you continue to vote, Democrats come out winning.
It seems that way.
No, it's not seems.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
They cheat the vote through these mail-in ballots because what they do is they see a Spencer Pratt winning. And then they say, we can't have that. So you guys just fill out these ballots and postmark it. And in California, you can hand postmark it, by the way.
Right. That's what I meant. That's why I said I'll just write the date on my forehead with a Sharpie and walk in and expect a vote.
Yeah.
It's the same damn thing.
Of course it is. This is ridiculous. This is third world elections. This is continuing to count until you get the person that you want to win. That's how they do it in communist nations. That's what they do in communist nations. They have these guys, like I said, a Maduro, a Chavez, or whoever, and they have mail-in ballots. Sure,
Biden.
Sure.
Sorry.
We have elections. You bet we do. I also posted on the X account at Trey Ware Show this past what do they call that thing when the president goes and addresses Congress? State of the Union.
State of the Union.
This past State of the Union address, he's walking down the line, and there's only some of the Supreme Court justices there, Sotomayor, they don't go. Amy Coney Barrett, he didn't shake her hand.
No, he sure didn't.
She turned, and she gave him the evil eye, boy. That's one of the reasons he didn't shake her hand, because she gave him the evil eye. He knows they're not ideologically lined up. He put her on the Supreme Court. She was a Trojan horse. She's a traitor to the MAGA movement and to what she represented herself as.
Well, that's pretty common stuff these days, representing yourself as something other than what you actually are to get where you want to be. I mean, look, government is like any other layer of society. There's a lot of ego at play. And personal ambition, and certainly it seems to be true of her. But this is not good. The president yesterday, after he signed these executive actions, also said that communism, and this ties into the Save America Act, because he spent a goodly amount of time talking about that and taking questions about this ruling, that it really kind of makes way for communism, and communism is the greatest threat to this country, even more so than World War I, World War II, 9/11, Pearl Harbor. And I absolutely agree with him on that point. He's right. I mean, that's how you undo a nation, is through mail-in ballots and cheating elections.
Well, we have to break, but before we do, I have that sound, of course, from the president saying exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I think it's a big threat to our nation, actually, because it's not socialism, it's really communism. They use the word social democrat because it sounds so nice, but it's really communism you're talking about. I think it's the biggest threat to our nation there is, maybe since our founding. That includes World War I, World War II, September 11th. It includes the Pearl Harbor attack. I think this is the biggest threat to our nation. People will smile when I say that, but the smart people are going to say, he's probably right.
You betcha, sir. I've been saying it for years. This is it. And he went through what I went through, and that was, well, you're seeing a commie under every rock. You see a commie everywhere. Well, they are everywhere. They are out there. They are in our society. They have been raised by our school, our media, and our entertainment industry. The woke mind virus is in their heads. It's a communist woke mind virus. This is what they believe. And now the Barrett rule says, yeah, it's okay. Now we're going to have a communist third world voting system in the United States of America.
Well, we are. I mean, that's really pretty obvious, as the president said, for smart people who are paying attention. I mean, we've been seeing this in motion for quite some time. And the people who are supporting this are people themselves who are backed by very large amounts of money and dark money and all that crap. I forget what I was reading yesterday where the claim was made. It's this guy that they're looking into at the DOJ that's funding a lot of this stuff behind the scenes, that really they're using things like transgenderism to achieve communism in America. It's really what's at play here. It's not about the gender stuff. It's not about any of this stuff. It's about that.
Yeah. And I brought that up before. Neville Singham is his name. He made a lot of money. He sold a tech company here, and he moved to China, and his wife started an organization here called Code Pink. They're the ones that go into these places. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this. This is something I brought up a number of times, but I got a story where the whole transgender thing that these guys are funding is meant to destabilize our systems here in America, and we'll talk about that. First, I want to talk about Window World, locally and family-owned Window World by the Bomba family, and I got to tell you, they've been in business around here since 1947. They are outstanding people with a beautiful, beautiful product. These beautiful replacement windows from Window World. They look gorgeous, but they also do a fantastic job with energy savings around your home. Like right now, it's 95 degrees, and it's going to be this way all summer long now. We've locked into that hot pattern. We got that heat dome overhead, and you want to keep the hot air outside, your AC air inside, and those Window World windows do it, and I know this from personal experience. Nancy and I bought them several years ago for our home, and we love them. You ought to go by and see that design center. It's over there at 410 in Nacogdoches, between Broadway and Nacogdoches. It's a beautiful place. You can see all the windows on display there and talk to the experts, or they'll come to you with a free in-home, no-obligation quote. Best price guarantee and the best when it comes to energy efficiency. They're Window World Windows, 210-767-0995. AccuWeather forecast, mostly sunny, mid-90s for your high today. Right now, 77 at KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay continues to be on the northeast side of town on 35, and this is all due to road work. Southbound Schertz Parkway to 1604. 2 right lanes are closed. Slow from FM 3009. On 35, southbound Weidner on down to Thousand Oaks. 2 right lanes closed, and that's got you slow from Olympia Parkway. On 35 northbound approaching Weidner, that's slow from Randolph, and 410 eastbound as you approach 35. Road work left lane, a little bit of a delay from Starcrest. Now, if you guys do see something that we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll go and check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Did you know
Breaking
America
news,
is turning
bold
250?
analysis, and the stories shaping our future. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Rockets, sparklers, fountains.
So many fireworks.
And the prices?
The lowest anywhere, guaranteed.
No hidden fees, no price hikes, just real savings. Our family has been helping you celebrate since 1963. So we know how to do birthdays right. Find a location at MrWFireworks.com.
Mr. W Fireworks.
America is having the biggest birthday party ever.
250 years old.
That's like a lot of candles. And you can't have the best birthday party without the best fireworks. Mr. W Fireworks has everything you need to make America's 250th totally unforgettable.
The lowest prices around.
Seriously, nobody beats them.
Nobody.
No sneaky fees, no crazy markups. Just awesome fireworks at real low prices. And go to MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. Mr. W Fireworks.
Because 250 only happens once.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. Thousands of homeowners have trusted us for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
The Buyer Boys are your trusted one-stop shop for AC, plumbing, electrical, and water well services. Save big with 0% financing for 25 months on any repair. Call the Buyer Boys.
See Buyer Boys for details. License TACLA 13624E.
San Antonio's conservative superstation. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Let's have some AC/DC. Yeah. Black cup of coffee, a black t-shirt, and major chords on the guitar. 620, Ware and Rima, KTSA.
You know, this whole week is so difficult for your average communist or liberal idiot. I mean, they're really having a hard time with it. And, Obama was out there reminding us that George Washington owned slaves. The founding fathers were brilliant, but they owned slaves. Well, so did members of your family, dude. But I'm looking at the weather, and now we have a heat dome that is moving towards the East Coast. I mean, D.C. and New York are going to be facing 100-degree temperatures. It's going to be really, really hot. I have no idea, but you have to wonder if there's going to be folks who are going to want to try to shut down July 4th celebrations because of that. You know what I mean? Because any excuse they have to shut down any display of joy over the existence of this country for 250 years, they'll take advantage of. You've been putting these polls out, and I was reading a couple yesterday about, where we are with how folks feel about this country. I saw another one yesterday, I think on Breitbart. Might have been a U.S. Gov poll saying that some ridiculously low number of people think this is actually the greatest country in the world. Some people think it's okay. Some people are disgusted by it, but it's like 24%, I think, of folks, only 24% across the board. Obviously, when you break it down party-wise, it's lopsided towards Republicans, but across the board, only about a quarter of the people in this country think it's the greatest country in the world.
52% of Republicans.
Right.
8% of Democrats.
Right. But the national number, right, is, I'm not mistaken, is about 24%. You know, and I think you probably already brought this guy up, but I was watching the video of the Japanese guy and the chips and salsa and how, you know, he just can't believe he sits down and they bring him food. And in Japanese culture, it's a gift and you have to eat every single thing or you're being insulting.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep bringing, he's just
That's
amazed by, you know, vats of salsa and chips. And you look at these folks going through the country who are experiencing this country for the first time, actually apologizing for believing our own media as far as what this country is and what it is not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's depressing as hell. It really is, seeing all these folks come here for the first time and they're just joy-filled in this country at what they're experiencing. And yet our own media and a whole lot of people in this country just think we suck and we're awful and we're oppressive. And it's depressing. It is.
Well, they can go. You know, they open the door and don't let it hit you in the rear end on your way out. Go on.
And on the other side of that,
else.
why are so many people trying to get here if we suck so much? If we're so awful, why do so many people want to live here?
I brought that up in a video yesterday. People are literally dying to get into this country.
Right.
Literally dying to get in here, and yet the Democrats can't stand it. In fact, to the point where we're having the Great American State Fair.
Right.
And each state along that mall, each state has their own, you know, display, kind of like the World's Fair, where you go in and you can see what that state is all about.
Sure.
So Iowa's showing all this farm stuff and dairy cows and butter. In fact, in the Iowa display, they've got a cow made out of butter inside. So you go in and you see this, right?
Yeah, it doesn't shock me, yeah.
And so you got all these different things that represent those states. Do you know what's not there? The blue states.
Well, that's surprising. It's not surprising.
The blue states.
They're not here. They hate. I mean, those are the folks that hate this country.
And it wasn't because they weren't invited. They said, no, we're not going.
We're not going to go. We're not going to be a part of this. You know, Michelle Obama famously said she was never proud of her country until, you know, her husband got elected. People talk about their shame around this country and their embarrassment over this country. For the first time in my life, I am somewhat embarrassed by all of these people coming here and seeing how great we have it. And yet, again, we just have so many voices out there who pitch this narrative that we are oppressive and we're a horrible country. It's like being the rich kid and you go to school and you complain about all the stuff you can't do and how your life sucks, and then people visit you and they're like, wow, you got a really nice house and nice parents. I would be embarrassed if I was that kid. It's kind of the same feeling I have here, that I am actually embarrassed as an American citizen that these people are coming here and they're losing their minds over free chips and salsa, and yet we have a media that says exactly what I just described. Oh, we suck and we oppress people and we're racist and transphobic.
A media and a party.
Media and a party.
And a party.
Community of people in the country.
And that's why I mean that. I sincerely mean it to them. If you are that upset, dude, life's too short. On average, a woman has 80 years on the planet. That's it, on average, okay? A guy has less than that, about 76 years on average. That's a really short amount of time to be all wadded up and upset. Go somewhere else.
No.
Go where you're going to. I tell you what, why don't you go try Venezuela?
Well,
why don't you try Caracas? Why don't you go try the Soviet Union? Why don't you try China? You know, go try those places, see how you like it. Just see how you dig it. Go to Cuba.
It's the easiest thing in the world to sit on your pampered ass in this country and claim it's an awful country. It doesn't require anything of you. Just like it's really easy to be a communist in this country. Okay, wait till these people actually have to start living in that world. So they're not going anywhere. They unconsciously, maybe they know how great they have it, and they're not going to go live in a third world S-hole for their ideals. They're not going to do that.
In 1984, there was a picture of a guy by the name of Anthony Sarachi. I will never forget this. He was a third-generation Italian. His grandparents came here on the boat, and they had to go to Ellis Island. And when they went to Ellis Island, they were just amazed by what they saw, and they came here and they made a life for themselves. And in 1984, we were doing the restoration of the Statue of Liberty. Remember all the scaffolding around it?
Yes.
Sarachi was working on it, cleaning it up. And there's a world-famous photo of him kissing the forehead of Lady Liberty. So famous that in 1986, Ronald Reagan pointed that photo out, said, that's what liberty's about. He's a guy who gets it, who understands it. The people who were raised in the cradle of liberty, they don't understand. They don't appreciate what they've got. It's the people from over there who come here and they go, oh, my God, you guys don't know what you have. How many times in the last 4 or 5 years did we talk about Chinese immigrants who escaped communist China, either under Mao or under the current regime, and came here and said, guys, stop this march toward communism. You don't want what I just left.
I used to hear that from a guy who was who had grown up in the Soviet Union, had a liquor store in Colorado that I used to go to, and he would say that. And this was 20 years ago. You have no idea how easily you can lose all of this. You have and that was 20 years ago. You know, so we're either going to keep it or we're going to lose it. You know, I don't know how I feel about what the possibility are. I think there are more people who love this country and are impassioned about this country, maybe not numerically, but again, I think it's like a lot of other things. It comes down to Donald Trump. It really comes down to Donald Trump, I think.
And the future generations, because so far we have, through school, through government schools, through media and entertainment, we put in their mind that communism is better than capitalism. Talk about a young generation. We got a break. More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
550 KTSA and FM 1071 is proud to support San Antonio-based nonprofit Soldiers Angels during Operation Appreciation. Now through the 4th of July, we'll be collecting care package items to ship to deployed service members around the world. Monetary donations are welcome to cover shipping costs. Get complete details now at KTSA.com. Presented by Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. And in part by Window World, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, here in Texas, and Connecticut.
You know, I have a Zoom meeting with my financial advisor from Trajan Wealth coming up next week. Our circumstances have changed a little bit, so we're kind of changing up the plan. And that's what I like about the advice at Trajan Wealth. Okay, they're not beholden to one plan of action. They can work with you and customize that plan for you. We're celebrating independence over the next few days. I'm celebrating my independence from stress over my finances by talking to my advisor from Trajan Wealth coming up next Tuesday, I believe. And they are fiduciaries, which means they always put your needs first. When you make more money, they make more money. So I know her advice for me in this new direction is going to be spot on. So if you're curious, you want to go in and talk to them with a complimentary consultation, you can do that very easily. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. I'm an actual client. This is a paid advertisement. And additional disclosures are available at TrajanWealth.com. Check out that website, TrajanWealth.com, then call them up and schedule your complimentary consultation today by calling 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Hey, it's Sean. I want to talk to you about my friends at Here in Texas. We have our big event coming up in the Alamo Lounge, wrapping up Operation Appreciation. Here in Texas is a big part of that. And I'll be able to hear everything that's going on in the Alamo Lounge on Thursday because of my hearing aids from Here in Texas. Got these a couple of years ago. I don't have profound hearing loss, but I have an issue with focus, and I have an issue with crowded places like a restaurant or a store. I always have trouble hearing my wife standing right next to me. But I'm going to be good on Thursday because of my hearing aids. The technology is amazing. They can test you in about 30 minutes and find out exactly what your problem is. They also have subscription plans now, so you'll always have the latest technology, no matter how this stuff evolves, a choice for you that works for you with locked-in pricing. So go in for that consultation. Get tested by my friends at Here in Texas, 830-360-2000, or look them up online at hereintexas.com, HEARNTX.com.
The healthiest patients in San Antonio are at the Institute for Functional Health. I'm Dr. Torres, and we help folks get off medications, feel better, look better, and become undeniably healthy. You've struggled with the same health concerns for a long time. It's frustrating, depressing, and nothing has worked. The good news is, at the Institute for Functional Health, we know everyone is unique, and medicine is never a one-size-fits-all solution. That's why we order specific labs to uncover the root cause of your symptoms. Your blood gives us all the answers, and we develop a doctor-supervised game plan that is specific specifically designed for you. Over the last decade, we have helped thousands of individuals look and feel years younger. All of us at the Institute for Functional Health are proud to say we have the healthiest patients in San Antonio, and we will help you become part of that club. See for yourself at iffhealth.com and call to schedule your complimentary consultation at 468-1891. 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 468-1891.
If your transmission is acting up, Access Transmission on Thousand Oaks is the only place you need to go to get it repaired or replaced. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Access Transmission has been the trusted transmission experts in the San Antonio area for over 50 years. Family owned and operated, Access Transmission can handle all your transmission needs, domestic and import. All estimates are free. There are no inspection or diagnostic fees like the big national chains. Shop local and take your vehicle to Access Transmission, where you can get a fair, honest, and free diagnosis of your transmission issue. They can repair or rebuild your transmission with their in-house rebuilders serving San Antonio and the Hill Country. Access Transmission offers free pickup and delivery, and yes, that does include the Hill Country. Located on Thousand Oaks between Jones-Maltzberger and Wetmore Road, call Access Transmission 210-490-4411. 490-4411. Access Transmission, the experts in transmission repair.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A man and a woman, both dead. They're found shot at a West Side apartment complex. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office thinks it could be murder-suicide. We'll dig into it coming up. More big decisions expected from the Supreme Court today. We'll get a preview on the way. And peace talks between the U.S. and Iran set for today in Doha, Qatar, even though Iran says they're not really happening. KTSA News Time 6:33.
Good morning. Mostly some road work to get in your way. This report sponsored by Mattress Firm. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. That's now a 45-minute commute. 2 right lanes are closed. That backup starts at Wiederstein. Northbound 35 at Walsham to 410. Roadway reduced to 1 lane. 35 northbound 410 to Randolph. More road work. And on Loop 410 eastbound as you approach 35. Left lane closed with construction cones. Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
A hot day for our Tuesday with hazy sunshine, the high of 93. It's still breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and warm, the low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in Hill Country. Sunny to partly cloudy with a steady afternoon breeze on Wednesday and the high 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now 78 degrees, partly cloudy at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this one. Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. Here come that Woolly Bully. Got 2 horns and a 1 guitar. Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs in San Antonio. Been a while, been a minute.
I just remember Spicoli dancing to this.
Got 2 big horns and a 1 guitar. That's all the boy needs. That'll get you through any night time. Love old Stephen Miller. And, you know, he's got a way of putting things that just makes it so understandable. And that's one of the reasons I love old Stephen Miller. I think the number one reason is he pisses liberals off, man. I really love a guy who does that.
I think it was pretty clever how he handled this today about this case. He basically said, look, there are other great cases out there. We're going to talk about those with Jonathan Turley. But nevertheless, he was disappointed that his appointee to the court, Amy Coney Barrett, wrote that majority.
Well, look, let's just call it like it is. Justice Roberts and Justice Barrett decided to cave to the radical left. Alito was so clear in his wording about what Election Day means. Nobody could read the statute, could read that opinion, could read what Alito wrote and come to any other conclusion. It's Election Day, not Election Week, not Election Month, not Election Months. So this was really a travesty, and it underscores, Laura, why we have to keep fighting to pass the Save America Act. 80 million Americans elected a Republican Senate majority, and they elected a Republican Congress to deliver on this fundamental priority. It must get done, Laura.
That's exactly right. And quit messing around with it. Let's get it done, and let's get this thing passed, okay? In fact, Stephen went on to describe what's going to happen in the midterms. This is going to sound very familiar to you. You've heard it come out of this mouth over and over again. The Democrat Socialist Communist Plan for America.
This is existential for this country. You've covered more than anybody. When the Democrats, should the Democrats regain power, it's game over. 12 more justices on SCOTUS, 2 new Democrat states. They're going to get rid of the Second Amendment. They're going to get rid of our borders. They're going to get rid of our police. They're going to get rid of ICE, Border Patrol, DHS, and they're going to elect communists, like actual communists, Laura, not even socialists, communists, who will wreck this country.
That's exactly the plan. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So now the House Republicans are going to pass the Save America Act again for a 4th time. This time they are attaching it to a defense spending bill. So if you say no to it this time, you're saying no to defense spending. But don't put it past the Republicans in the Senate to do that. They're going to try to say, no, we got to break this apart. We're going to have to split this apart. We don't have the votes to be able to pass them both. You don't have the votes because you don't have the guts or nuts to stand up and do what you're supposed to do and pass something that you know that we have to protect the integrity of our elections in this country.
Well, let me go back to Stephen Miller for a second. One of the reasons he upsets the liberal pukes and the communists so much is because he provides the truth. And the truth upsets them because I agree. Everything he said, I agree with. I mean, it's not that he's saying anything all that poetic. He just says the truth out loud, and they can't stand it, and it makes their skin crawl because the truth, to quote Jack Nicholson, they can't handle the truth because this is it. This is what will happen if they regain control because because of the Save America Act isn't there, and elections are compromised with mail-in ballots. All that stuff he said is going to happen. Trump said it yesterday. He says it over and over again. You will lose this country. The Save America Act is aptly named Save America. But I agree with you. I don't believe it's going to happen. The president said that yesterday during his press conference. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, the Democrats have told you what they're going to do. And they say it over and over again. They're going to pack the Supreme Court, number one. That's number one. They are going to open the border, which means anybody who, they call it transmigration for work. Anybody who wants to come work here, you can come work here, and we'll take care of you. In fact, Brandon Gill from Texas, the guy I keep telling you I'm really enamored with, I think he's doing a heck of a job. And he's, 30?
He's
32,
dude,
34,
That's
somewhere along in there.
Young dude.
And he introduced legislation yesterday to make sure that our tax money is not going to fund the mortgages for illegal aliens. We have this thing called the Federal Housing Program, okay? And what that is designed to do is for young people in particular to be able to get a mortgage that is backed by taxpayer money. So if you fail, if you turn upside down on your mortgage, then it's going to be taken care of. It's designed for people in this country, people who are trying to get started here that came from this country. Not for an enticement, an inducement for illegal aliens to come here, but that's what the Democrat communists have turned it into. They wave it out there and they say, during times when they're in charge, like the last 4 years, they wave it out there and they say, hey, come to America, you'll have a mortgage that's guaranteed by taxpayer money. So if you don't pay your bill, not a big deal. Taxpayers pay your bill on your mortgage. Brandon Gill put in legislation yesterday to end all of that, and he's right. We need more of him and less of the AOCs of the world.
Well, I agree. And, as far as the mortgage thing, I mean, obviously that's a little nugget they're dangling in front of people to get them out here because they need them to vote, and they need to fill up these districts. I mean, it's all part of the same cheat. I think that's the part that really kind of takes my breath away with this stuff. It's all part of the same thing. Whether you're talking about mortgage assistance for illegals, whether you're talking about transgenderism, whether you're talking about any of this stuff, mail-in, it's all part of the same scam, or scheme, rather, to take over this country. And they may pull it off, man. Trey, they may pull it off.
Well, I don't know. I hope they don't. But, with people like Amy Coney Barrett and John Thune, who are playing for the same team, which is the election fraud team at this point, it's a very tough thing to overcome, especially since you don't have people in Congress who will stand up and fight back right now. I mean, we do. We have the Brandon Gills of the world and people like that in Congress. I'm talking about overwhelming numbers. And that's why the midterms are going to matter so much. You have got to put in a number of people so that the Democrat communists are so overwhelmed in numbers that they're impotent, that they can't do anything in Congress. And then you got to pass all these election integrity laws with a huge, overwhelming majority that they can't overcome.
Well, what was the line that Trump used to use for the election, the last round of election? Too big to cheat. I think it was something like that. I agree. I agree with all this stuff. But our politicians, again, are. You look at. Let me go back to Coney Barrett for a second. Okay, you just said it. We were talking about how she presented herself as something other than what she actually is, to basically get on the bench and then start ruling in a completely different way, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about. Okay, we talk all the time. You talk all the time about the long game, that these people are playing the long game that's really been at play since the 1950s, if you want to go all the way back. Okay, think about what you're suggesting about Coney Barrett. That's the long game. I'm going to present myself throughout the majority of my career to be one thing so that I can accomplish getting on the Supreme Court and do something completely opposite. If that's not the description, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's not the description of the long game, I don't know what is.
Well, that is the long game.
Yeah.
And whether it's true with her or not, I don't know, or if she got there and then she was infected with the mind virus. I don't know. It's hard to determine, but clearly election day, it's kind of like, Sean, it's kind of like the Second Amendment. I know I'm a hard ass on the Second Amendment. People get upset at me because I believe the Second Amendment means that anybody, whosoever will, can carry whatever they want to. Because the idea behind the Second Amendment, I'm not going off on a tangent here, the idea behind the Second Amendment is to protect you from an overpowering government, so you can hold the government in check.
Of it, yeah.
And that the idea is shall not be infringed. That's pretty damn clear. That's unambiguous. And our founding fathers, they wrote it that way so it would be unambiguous. They said the same thing about election day, okay? The same thing. They were being unambiguous. They didn't say an election season, an election time. We're going to have an election time. Hey, you know what? Y'all figure it out. Y'all work it out. No, they said you're going to have one day. You're going to have a day of election right there.
That's what Alito wrote in the dissent. It says one day. It says election day. It doesn't say election week. It doesn't say election month.
One of the guys I like is Mike Davis. He said this.
The effect of this Supreme Court ruling written by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, Professor Barrett, is we're going to have third world elections.
Right on.
Election day does not mean election day. It means on election day, when Democrats figure out how many votes they're behind, they're going to be able to go find those votes, fill out ballots, have their postal workers postmark those ballots, and then apparently election day under Barrett's rationale is the number of days it takes for Democrats to steal the election.
That's exactly right. More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA. Going to be mostly sunny today, mid-90s for the high. 77 now, KTSA.
Good morning. Mostly road work to get in your way. This report sponsored by Blindster.com on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. This is our heaviest delay right now. It's going to take you about 45 minutes to get through. Stop and go from Wieterstein. 35 northbound Walsham to 410. This has the roadway reduced to one lane. 35 northbound 410 to Randolph. More road work. And 410 eastbound, that connector to northbound 35. That road work has a connector ramp closed. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Blindster.com for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Get the latest local news, weather, and traffic online at KTSA.com. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. Dave Ramsey here. When your AC quits, the plumbing backs up, or something electrical goes sideways, you need straight answers. That's why I recommend Champion Home Services. They handle heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. One company with no pressure and no games or upselling. Just honesty and clear pricing before anything starts. You see the purple Champion trucks and their belt buckle logo all over town. Champion believes in doing things the right way the first time. They show up on time, respect your home, they respect your money, and they do the work like professionals should, helping you sleep better at night. So when you need reliable AC, plumbing, and electrical help from people you can trust, call Champion Home Services at 210-528-1604 or go to championac.com. Trustworthy, Texas-proud home services, championac.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
You save all that money for retirement, and now you're watching the market like a hawk.
They freak out, sell, go into cash, and say, well, when this is all over, I'll get back in. What we're really talking about here is market timing. The blink of an eye, 7 years is gone, and, what have you lost?
Helping you with markets, taxes, and common sense retirement advice. Jay Kirkwood and Clear Skies Retirement. Sundays at noon, right here on KTSA.
This is Mark Sadowski for Mark Sadowski Jewelers. Is something special on your mind? That special ring you always wanted? Problem is, something special costs special money. We at Mark Sadowski Jewelers have the solution. All of us have stuff laying around in our drawers. That's money laying there, and it isn't doing you any good. There's probably an old high school ring, an anklet, or a necklace that you wore when you were a child. A ring Aunt Sally gave you that you never wore. Add it all together and it becomes real money. Bring it to us, you'll get real money for it. At Mark Sadowski Jewelers, you'd be surprised how much you really have. Use that real money to buy or create something special. You could even have that something special and have cash left over. Mark Sadowski Jewelers, a family tradition since 1933. That's 90 years on Northwest Military Highway. Call us at 210-377-1818. That's 210-377-1818.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this. Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career. Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Trey Ware here. Texas Rhino Shield, it's a difference maker. 9 times thicker than paint. This ceramic coating protects your home against the sun's UV rays like nothing else can. Log on today and find out how you can save $2,500 on your project. TexasRhinoShield.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Cook with ProLift Garage Doors of San Antonio. If your garage door sounds like a marching band falling down the stairs, let's fix it. We handle repairs, openers, replacements, and tune-ups. Visit ProLiftDoors.com.
San Antonio, let's set the record straight. Bjorn's has evolved.
Sure, we're still your go-to for premium audio, video, and home theater, but that's just the beginning.
We now specialize in smart home automation, lighting control systems and fixtures, motorized shades, rock-solid networking, and outdoor entertainment that turns your backyard into a getaway.
Imagine pressing one button to lower the shade, set the lights, and queue up your playlist. That's how we make smart living simple.
And don't forget the outside. We install outdoor TVs built for Texas heat and hidden landscape speakers that sound incredible without disrupting your view.
We customize every solution, residential or commercial, and we install it right the first time. No guesswork, no regrets.
Our team's been bringing cutting-edge tech home for 50 years.
Come visit the Bjorn showroom on 281. Get inspired.
We'll show you how the future of technology can fit perfectly into your world. Because if it's technology,
it's at Bjorn's. Just Bjorn's.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
Hey, this is Eric Cooper with the San Antonio Food Bank. It is my privilege to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, it's 6:51. We are Ware and Rima coming up on Thursday morning. A great time at KTSA. That's exactly what you're going to be doing. In fact, we'll probably play that song right there on Thursday.
We have a shout-out.
I saw
Iris.
that, yes.
Dawn Fairchild dropped off a donation yesterday for Thursday, and she loves you guys.
Dawn Fairchild, yeah. She dropped off some stuff. She's great. I was going to say hi to her.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. That's great. So that's for Operation Appreciation?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dawn Fairchild.
What a sweetheart. And we're going to have Gigi's Cupcakes while supplies last. We're going to have hot dogs while supplies last. We're going to have PJ's Coffee. Rick Rice Band's going to be playing. We got some other entertainers that are going to be here. We're going to sing. It's going to be just an uproarious time for the United States of America. And I hope you'll come by and be a part of it. We got some celebs that are going to come by and say hi to local celebs, people
and
like
Dawn,
that.
we're expecting you to come by, too.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on and say hi, Dawn.
Yeah.
We'd like to meet you.
Yeah, it'd be great. Or anybody else.
Come get a hot dog at 7 in the morning.
You know what? There ain't a bad time to have a hot dog.
There is not a bad time ever to have a hot dog, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love hot dogs.
Anytime, day or night. So that's this Thursday morning, 7 to 9 at KTSA. Ding, 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 ding.
We were kind of digesting a lot of this stuff that came down from the Supreme Court yesterday. The E. Jean Carroll case. That when you hear reporting on that, it's a foregone conclusion that Donald Trump is guilty. That's just what I've heard it. I heard it this morning. I've heard it. It's a way to attach sexual assault abuse, to him, even though that's not exactly what the case was. It was kind of interesting to me that they're not going to review the appeal for the $5 million because now correct me if I'm wrong here. But their argument is it won't win, it won't survive, it won't the case won't survive or it won't win, so we're just not going to look at it.
They didn't even take it up
because the argument, right, is that it won't be successful, so we're just not going to bother with it.
Sure,
that's amazing to me.
Well,
it's kind of like saying, in Biden, that he's a doddering old man, so we can't really go after him because he wouldn't win in a court of law. It's kind of the same thing. Well, it won't win, so we're just not going to review it at all.
Well, he says he's not done. He's going to clear his name on this because he didn't do it. I don't believe he did it at all. Here's a woman who told Andy Cooper that rape is sexy. Okay, she said that, and then he had, I got to go to break. Let's go to commercial. Let's go to commercial. She said rape is sexy, and then rape is a turn on, and so she's got something screwy up here about that particular thing.
Well, and Trump reacted to it about the picture with her and her husband and a celebrity handshake line, a meet and greet. It allegedly took place at a shopping mall where even in the mid '90s you would have had cameras everywhere. Not to mention, it doesn't. I know this is not exactly good evidence, but there's nothing in that man's track record that says that this is who he is. He had a couple of women that showed up after she came out.
No, one thing.
But you haven't had. He doesn't. This is the kind of stink that follows you through your life if that's who you are. And every woman that's ever worked for him, women that have encountered him, say the exact opposite.
Then let's do this. Let's apply the standard they're applying to him right now in this case to Bill Clinton. Because I guarantee you there's more evidence to put Bill Clinton behind bars for the rest of his life on this particular issue than has ever come forward on Donald John Trump. Bill Clinton with Juanita Broderick and all the others, Paula Jones, and the list goes on and on and on. And mysteriously, things happen to those women when they say stuff about him.
Clinton side, I submit you could probably make the same argument for Joe Biden. Involving a couple of cases. But Donald Trump, they based a lot of it on the offhanded remark with the radio guy that, they can't shut up about. So, I think it's not a very good argument that we can't review it because we don't think it'll win. You don't want to review it. You want that hanging around Donald Trump's neck for the rest of his life. That's exactly what they want.
It's pathetic, because it truly, in that particular case, that's Trump derangement syndrome. Nothing else. Nothing else can explain anything else about that case. Nothing.
I will bring up a story that you and I thus far have not touched on. It was a big story this weekend. I can't believe it just slid right by there. Trey, Saturday was World Naked Bike Day. World Naked Ride a Bike Day to do something to combat car culture. Because car culture, and I'm sure you would agree, is horrible, isn't it? That we drive cars in this country. Mm-hmm. We got to get naked and get on some bikes. I bring it up just because there was a guy out in L.A. when they had this thing that was shooting him with a BB gun. I don't endorse shooting naked hippies on hiking bikes with a BB gun, but it is a bit of a statement. Can you explain to me, Trey, exactly which human problem has been solved by unattractive naked hippies on bicycles? Is there something's been solved by that?
Of course not. First of all, this guy was arrested for attempted murder with a deadly weapon, a BB gun.
Right.
A BB gun. Okay, that's how crazy they are in Seattle. At the Seattle Pride Parade, they had fully nude adults, including these people on these bikes, but others as well that were dancing in the streets and all this. And what does that for gay pride? What does that have to do with gay pride, dancing around nude in front of little children like this? It's on my ex account. There's a lady filming it all.
Right in front of kids.
Right in front of kids, you just heard her say. What does that have to do with gay pride?
Oh, nothing, nothing at all. I know a lot of gay people that hate it. I mean, we used to deal with this in Boulder. They do this every year at this time of year.
I wish the gay people that hate it would speak up and say that they hate it. I wish they'd be more in the forefront about it.
I agree.
Kind of like the Muslims knocking our towers down.
I agree.
They're starting to do it on social media.
Well, they ain't doing it enough because it ain't out there. And the guys that, like I told you yesterday, went and had the operations and they were walking around with in front of children. What does that have to do? How does that advance your cause of your gayness?
It really doesn't, and it certainly doesn't solve any problems. It certainly doesn't do anything about the evils of car culture. It's really just an excuse to get naked and get on a bike and make a spectacle of yourself. That's really all it's about.
Trey, we need to get you in the gay algorithm so that you can see the gays that are standing up against this.
I got to start calling it gay instead of homosexual, don't I? If I called it gay, I'd get in the algorithm. But since I called it homosexual.
You got to get in the gay algorithm.
All right, back in a minute, KTSA.
Hi, this is Bob Webster for my friends over at Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. It's just quality is such a hard thing to find in the day's world. I mean, there are so many roofers around that, they're here one day, gone the next. Putting on those old shingle roofs that wear out after a few years or after the first hailstorm. Why not get the last roof you will ever put on your home? A beautiful roof from Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. I mean, the gap in price between metal and shingles has come way down. Southwest Metal Roofing System roofs are an amazing value, extremely well priced, best guarantee in the industry. They're going to save you money on your energy bill every month because they're so energy efficient. Plus, most homeowners insurance companies give you a discount because they know they're never going to have to replace that roof. Plus, it's a darn good looking roof. Lots of choices of color, lots of choices of looks, but all with the same great quality. Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, 822-6868 is the number. Give them a call for the best roof in the industry.
Too good.
Too Good to Be Through is San Antonio's premier consignment store for fine fashion and furniture. Anytime you want a fresh new look, Too Good to Be Through has got you covered. Update your wardrobe in high-end fashion and refresh your living spaces with quality furniture, all below retail. With new items arriving daily, you never know what you'll discover at Too Good to Be Through. Summer is heating up, and Too Good to Be Through is celebrating America's 250th birthday with extra savings. This Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, get a $5 gift card with every $50 purchase. In store only, limit 3 per person. Then Saturday, 4th of July, Too Good to Be Through will be closed in honor of our independence. But you can still shop online all day and earn double reward points. Declare your independence and find your fashion and furniture treasures all week at Too Good to Be Through on San Pedro near Bitters and online at toogoodsA.com.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 7 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is investigating a possible murder-suicide after 2 people were found shot to death on the far west side. We get more from KTSA's Stacy Keene.
Deputies were called to an apartment complex on Culebra Road around 3:30 Monday afternoon. A relative of one of the 2 victims found a man and woman dead after not being able to reach them for several days. Deputies found a gun between the 2 bodies, and it's believed there was a fight between the 2 before the shots were fired. Investigators aren't looking for any any suspects, but the investigation is continuing. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
Should the babies of illegal aliens or those visiting the U.S. be given automatic citizenship? And should boys who say they're transgender be allowed to compete in women's sports? Well, the U.S. Supreme Court's expected to rule on both of those cases today and others. KTSA is watching for the latest developments. Around 1,700 people dead in Venezuela after last week's devastating earthquakes. But search and rescue efforts continue with help from all over the world, and that effort is paying off.
From beneath the rubble, the miracles. You can hear this baby's cries as it's freed by American rescue teams, rushing off the pile for medical attention. And amazingly, moments later, from that same collapsed building, the baby's mother is also pulled out alive.
That's correspondent Camilla Bernal. A 4.6 magnitude aftershock was reported by the U.S. Geological Survey yesterday off the Venezuelan coast. President Delcy Rodriguez says her country is getting support from more than 24 countries. More than 30,000 people are taking part in rescue efforts in Venezuela. Talks between the U.S. and Iran supposed to be happening in Qatar today. President Trump made the announcement on Truth Social, saying Iran had requested the meeting after the latest round of back-and-forth attacks in the region. But Iran's foreign ministry says that never happened, and yet they are sending a delegation to Doha to discuss the unfreezing of Iranian money. KTSA News Time 7:02. Let's check out KTSA Sports right here. Rob Thompson.
In the NBA, it's free agency day. It begins today, 5 o'clock our time. That kept the Spurs busy yesterday. They signed forward Julian Champagnie to a new 3-year, $45 million contract. It's a de-escalating deal that'll have more available at the end for other players. They're also keeping forward Harrison Barnes. He'll sign a 1-year, $8 million deal to stay with the Spurs. In other NBA news, the Memphis Grizzlies traded Ja Morant to the Portland Trail Blazers for a bag of beans, a bowl of cereal, Jeremy Grant, and Chris Murray. The unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis, is staying in Golden State. He'll re-up with the Warriors with a 2-year, $40 million deal. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and your complete KTSA AccuWeather forecast up next, 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Well, if you're like most investors, you're probably a bit confused on what to do with your investment portfolio right now. There's been a lot of volatility. We've seen a big move in interest rates, a war, new technology being introduced, and rising inflation. Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When I talk to listeners like you, the biggest issue I see when reviewing their portfolio is that there is no strategy or game plan. Without a game plan, it makes achieving your financial goals very difficult. It's probably time to schedule a free financial checkup with me. I'll personally analyze your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return. There will not be a high-pressured sales pitch at this meeting, just a clear, concise conversation about your specific financial situation. We actively manage assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. Give us a call at 210-526-0057 or visit us online at creatingricherlives.com.
CapTrust Financial Advisors is an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940 and does not render legal advice.
Energy-efficient windows built to last. Call Precision Windows and Doors at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Hey, it's Sean here in Texas now offers subscription plans where you always have the latest technology for your hearing aids with locked-in pricing. Always the latest model. Make an appointment for a consultation today, 830-360-2000, hereinTexas.com.
Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time 7:05. Got a big time delay on the east side in Kirby. Let's see what's happening. KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Good morning. We've got some road work on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604 that's causing an hour delay. 2 right lanes are closed. You're stop and go now from Fisher Road. So Nacogdoches, good alternate route. 410 eastbound as you approach 35, road work left lane, and 410 eastbound, that connector to northbound 35, connector ramp closed. Again, this is all road work. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Try and find some shade today. It'll be hot with hazy sunshine, the high of 93. Breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy. The low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in Hill Country. Then sunny to partly cloudy with a steady breeze Wednesday, the high of 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
77 degrees right now, but it feels more like it's about 86 at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Still up for the Supreme Court, trans sports and birthright citizenship. And I got to tell you, I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen because you can't trust at least two of these supposed conservatives. John Roberts rewrote Obamacare so it would pass, and Amy Coney Barrett rewrote our election laws as of yesterday. What was interesting, though, was Clarence Thomas yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was caught walking through the House of Representatives in the hallways.
Who were you meeting with this afternoon?
Nobody.
You weren't meeting with the speaker, you were in his
Oh,
office.
God, no.
So what are you doing up here?
Oh, just walking.
No meetings in particular?
I'm going to tell you about.
Tomorrow's going to be a big day at the court, huh? Final day of decisions?
Oh, I guess so.
You want to give us a sneak peek of some of the decisions?
Nope.
No.
I love Clarence Thomas with all of my heart. I just think he's wonderful. I love Sam Alito with all of my heart. I think Sam Alito is just a treasure. And we lost one of the greatest ever in Scalia. You know, a guy who was had such fidelity to every word of the Constitution. Just so beautiful. What were you going to say?
Oh, just with Clarence Thomas, one thing we've read over the years, is what a funny guy he is behind the scenes. You kind of got a glimpse of that there with that bit of video.
It's a very dry humor. He's very dry
but
humor guy.
But they say he's a very funny guy.
Yeah.
I saw Chip Roy posting pictures with Clarence Thomas. They went and got barbecue in Austin or something.
That was several months ago. That's right.
But they're buddies. They're tight like that.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Well, and these guys, just the fact that he's there, it means he doesn't mean he's doing anything.
Right.
That's just a reporter trying to drum up something so she can get some clicks. Need some clickbait. Well, if you need some clickbait, let's listen to Sam Alito in the dissent yesterday.
We have lots of phrases that involve two words, the second of which is day. Labor Day, Memorial Day, George Washington's birthday, Independence Day, birthday, and Election Day. And they're all particular days. So if we start with that, if I have nothing more to look at than the phrase Election Day, I think this is the day in which everything is going to take place, or almost everything. And then we have 3 points in time, 1844, 1872, 1914. And we can ask, what would people have thought on those days is meant by this phrase Election Day? Which of those should we choose? Which of those dates should we choose?
Well, I think you could choose any of the three. I mean, honestly, I think the single best one, if you're just going to choose one, is 1872. And the reason I say that is because 1914 is the latest in time, but that's the one that Congress gave the least thought to.
And what they're talking about is whether or not elections should go longer than a day. But the Constitution is very clear. Election day means election day. You go to the polls, you cast your ballot on that day, and you find out that night, that evening, who won. Here's Mike Davis talking about it with Megan yesterday.
The effect of this Supreme Court ruling, written by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, Professor Barrett, is we're going to have third world elections.
Yes.
Election day does not mean election day. It means on election day, when Democrats figure out how many votes they're behind, they're going to be able to go find those votes.
Correct.
Fill out ballots, have their postal workers postmark those ballots. And then apparently election day under Barrett's rationale is the number of days it takes for Democrats to steal the election.
They are still counting the votes in California, okay? And they're not going to be done until July 10th. Tomorrow's July 1. They're not going to be done until July 10th. That's what they do, and this is what they do in communist nations. This is how they do it and how they keep dictators in place. They have an election day, but it's not an election day. It's an election season. They find out how the vote came out on election day, and then they cheat by mail by going out and getting people to fill out these ballots, send them in by the mail, or take them to a ballot box. Hey, we'll still accept them then until we get the person to win that we want to win. That's what Amy Coney Barrett did to our election system yesterday.
Well, and he's right. It's such a simple argument. There's really not a lot of gray area there. There's no S after the word election day. There's no, it's one day. And I like the way he listed all these other days. They're just a day, most of them being holidays. Okay, it's not election week. It's not election month. I brought this up in the first hour. It's election day. There's really not any wiggle room there for what that's supposed to imply, and that's what he's arguing. In other words, it's the more reasonable interpretation of the Constitution to say election day is what they intended, one day. We never had problems with it before, but all of a sudden we do, and there's only one explanation as to why that is, and you just laid it out. It's because you want to cheat.
Well, that's it. What you have to do, and Eric Holder's behind a lot of this, which means Barack Obama's behind a lot of this, which
Shocking.
Barack Obama is a communist and Marxist, okay? And so the whole idea is to change the system of voting without having to change the Constitution. It's real simple. So they're able to go in and say, okay, it's not just today. The Founding Fathers didn't mean that. Just like they didn't mean shall not be infringed in the Second Amendment. I brought that up in the first hour as well. The founders and the guys who wrote the Constitution, they wrote it in such a way, to be clear, they weren't trying to make it crazy for you where you couldn't understand it. They wanted guys from farmers all the way up to Princeton grads to be able to understand the Constitution, which was designed to constrain government, not the people.
Well, the argument, for that ruling was, if I'm not incorrect, was, using Mississippi as a springboard is this idea that states supersede federal law when it comes to elections, but they don't supersede the Constitution. And I mean, that's my simple cave dwellers analysis. I mean, election day is election day. It's not something that's up for conjecture. It's pretty obvious right there in front of you.
I would think that you could have an interpretation. I don't know, Sean. I really don't know if you could have an interpretation that could say if it's a local election like a municipal election,
right,
then you could do that however you want. We're talking federal elections.
Yeah, I mean, there's
so
no
if it's a federal
for
election,
it.
the Constitution says an election day.
But that's what they used. That right?
Of course.
That's what their argument was for why they upheld this.
And they're saying that Mississippi standard applies to federal elections. It does not.
Right.
It does not. You don't have to be this great legal mind to understand this. You have to be a far leftist like an Amy Coney Barrett, a wolf in sheep's clothing, that comes out and says this is what they really meant by that. Just like her compadre there, John Roberts, who rewrote Obamacare to make it fit a square peg in a round hole.
He turned the fine into a tax, essentially, is how they were able to ratify Obamacare. So, again, it's not a logical argument that this was based on. The dissent was the more logical argument, which is observably so. It's election day. Okay, so the future of America really kind of hangs in the balance based upon where you place an S.
If you read her opinion on this, she says what is not true. She says that Mississippi state law supersedes what the Constitution says. That's not true. What she's saying is that, state law in Mississippi applies to federal elections. It does not.
Well,
sorry, that's not true.
Nothing supersedes the Constitution either. So, it's a bad argument, but it won the day. It's the reality of what they ruled.
When they wrote the Constitution, they wrote it for federal laws and federal elections. Local laws and local elections mean just that local laws and local elections decide how you in San Antonio, Texas, do your city council and your mayor. Not how we do the president and Congress. Back in a minute, more Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA. Mostly sunny with mid-90s today. 77 right now, KTSA.
Good morning. Road work on 35 causing heavy delays on the northeast side of town. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. 2 right lanes are closed. Stop and go from Fisher Road. So it's going to set you back almost an hour, about 55, 60 minutes. Nacogdoches still a good alternate route. On 410 eastbound approaching 35, road work left lane. And 410 eastbound, that connector to northbound 35, connector ramp closed. Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
550 KTSA.
I'd like to wish everybody a very happy 4th of July.
Celebrating America 250.
The best is yet to come.
Happy 250. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Hi, this is Trey Ware. I'd like to introduce you to my friends at Wealth Watch Advisors, located right here in San Antonio. Wealth Watch Advisors is a different kind of planning firm. Their fiduciary advisors take the time to understand your entire financial picture, including tax mitigation, estate and legacy planning, retirement income mapping, insurance concerns, and so much more. The big box firms typically give clients generic investment options, but at Wealth Watch Advisors, they customize plans for each client using unique strategies that address your true concerns. Schedule a conversation today and see if it makes sense for you. Call 210-249-5360, 210-249-5360, or visit wealthwatchadvisors.com.
The preceding message was a paid endorsement. Investment advisory services are offered through Wealth Watch Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk, and past performances does not guarantee future results.
Oral health is such an important part of your overall health, and that's why I love talking about Dr. Williamson. He is a dentist, but not an ordinary dentist by any means. He is a broadly trained gentleman. He is fully trained and able to handle just about any dental problem you could ever have. And what is really different is the way he conducts things in his office. You're not just a number. He's somebody that wants to get to know you. He's going to concentrate on helping you. Dr. Williamson is an outstanding dentist, following the tradition of Dr. Staffel that he worked with for a number of years. It's very conveniently located off Cherry Ridge Drive, outside Loop 410, just east of I-10. But Dr. Williamson, his staff, is the most welcoming atmosphere you will ever encounter, and one of the most capable dentists you will ever know. If you're looking for a dentist, if you're new to town and want to start with the best one I think you'll find, well, you just need to call 341-2569, 210-341-2569 for Dr. Williamson and Associates.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
Hey, it's Joe Pags. I'm going to tell you about a family I've trusted for years, Green Energy of San Antonio. In fact, I've got the Green Energy Radiant Barrier in my home. Richard Ramos and his family have been doing radiant barrier work right here in San Antonio since 2009. Over 15 years in this town. In home services, that kind of longevity tells you everything. Here's what makes them different. They show up with an infrared camera, scan your attic for 15 minutes free, and they tell you the truth. No $15,000 HVAC upsell, no pressure, just a real look at what's happening in your attic and a real fix. Running cold air through a 150-degree attic is like putting ice cream in your oven. Stop the heat before you buy the cold air with a Green Energy Radiant Barrier now. Get a free 15-minute infrared attic scan. Plus, get $300 off if you move forward. Call 210-310-3371, 210-310-3371, or greenenergyofsa.com. Don't forget to tell Richard Joe Pag sent you to Green Energy of San Antonio.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Hey, it's Joe Pags, celebrating our nation's 250th on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
We're going to rock this town with a Stray Cat, 720 KTSA with Ware and Rima.
Well, a couple of things here. I was kind of following this story yesterday at this detention center in North Carolina, the Bertie Martin Regional Detention Center. You had not a great big facility, less than 100 inmates in there, but they had some guards that were taken hostage. Got pretty tense there for a while, but they negotiated the folks taking these guards hostage down, and they all, nobody was hurt, thank God. I only bring it up because I met a guy about a month ago waiting in a doctor's office who used to work he's a prison guard, in one of the bigger prisons, and was just kind of giving me, and again, this is a detention center, it's not a full-blown prison, but just talking about how unhappy a job it is. You're surrounded by people who are some of the worst people in the world, and they all want to kill you, and he said he did it for a number of years, said the money was really good, but he just had to get out because it's really affecting his mental health. So, just doing it for a living, let alone, somebody taking you hostage. So just want to give a shout out to all the folks who work our prison system. You talk about bricks and bars all the time. We need people watching those bricks and bars. And I don't believe it could be a very happy job for a lot of them, So God bless you for what you do. The other thing is a cultural thing I want to bring up. I'm officially done with people maxing anything, I looks maxing. I'm maxed out on the maxing thing. I was reading about how now they have something called human maxing. Oh, first off, a lot of this stuff is really not backed up by medical science, like people hitting themselves in the face with hammers to make their face look, dudes do the looks maxing. Okay, now we have human maxing. I was reading about this, where people use algorithms and pure data from medical modeling, essentially, to get into really bizarre diets. There's something called red light therapy, where you sit your ass under a red light, and that's supposed to extend your life. And the idea behind human maxing, Trey, is you want to extend your lifetime. And the goal of the human maxers is to live well over 100 years. I was reading an interview with one of these people. It's a young person thing. They want to live to be like 180. I love life, but I don't want to live to be 180, and I'm not going to go through all this crap.
What's your number?
What's my number?
Yeah.
Whatever day I check out.
Okay.
I'm just glad to be here any day. I don't care.
Okay.
But the maxing thing I'm just done with officially. Living well and healthy is actually a pretty simple recipe. It doesn't mean that I do it. You don't need human maxing. It's pretty simple. Get some light exercise. Okay, don't eat processed crap every day of your life. Get good rest. Get good sleep. It's really pretty simple. I mean, to be healthy. You know about this stuff.
Yeah.
You're working out again.
But you're talking about bankrupting the big pharma industry when you start talking like that, and they don't like that, man. You're gonna run them out of business. You encourage all these people to eat well and be healthy.
Oh, I'm going to personally will keep them in business. I'm not worried. Don't worry about my ass doing any of that stuff. I need to do a little bit more of that stuff, but you're right. We need lots of sick people to feed the big
beast.
Pharma mill,
Beast.
But, I don't know. I'm one of those guys, and maybe it's my generation, that, when something becomes really trendy or everybody's talking about it, I just instinctively want to go in the opposite direction. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want to slob max. Okay, I'm going to do some slob maxing, where I'm just going to eat more bad food and only sleep about 15 minutes a day.
You have a PhD in that, don't you?
I have a PhD in slob maxing.
Yeah. Nancy and I call it zagging when people are zigging.
Right.
That's what we do.
Go in the opposite direction.
Absolutely.
Go in the opposite direction. Wherever the crowd is going, go in the opposite direction.
The crowd used to take their vacations, I guess they still do, in June, July, and August, because that's when the kids are out of school. We took our vacations during the winter. Well, let's go somewhere during the winter when everybody's not there.
Right.
Nobody's there. Nobody's here at the resort. We're going to stay here.
I think a lot of this maxing stuff, though, again, it's like so much of our culture. It's so based on the clicks, and it's so based on social media.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People human max, just like they look max or looks max, because they want to do a little video where people see them doing this crap, and then you get famous.
I'm planning our next event after Thursday. We get Thursday done. Okay.
Right.
Speaking of maxing in life and looking good, because we look good, and I am.
You look good. Yeah, I don't look all that especially good.
So we get through this Thursday, which is here at the radio station at KTSA, 7 to 9 a.m. Everybody come. Let's have some fun. We're gonna have food and music and all that stuff this Thursday. But I'm thinking we're gonna have the first ever morning show nude bike ride. And I'm thinking that we ought to look good doing that, right? Don't you think?
You didn't mention this when I brought up nude bike riding a little while ago.
No, I think it's time to really start to plan this. We got to come up with a plan.
You just said it was gay, and then it's like, what gay people do.
Well, that's not what I said. What I said was the ones who did it the other day, they were gay people advancing their gay movement. I don't see how that advances.
So if you and I get naked on bikes, we're not going to advance the gay movement?
I have no movement.
Or motorcycles?
Well, I'm going to ride Betty. But you guys can ride.
You're not going to ride your motorcycle naked.
Y'all can ride whatever. I'm not riding anything naked. I'm kidding around.
What do you think, Elaine?
Y'all got serious on me.
Who can we raise some money for with a naked bike ride?
on crack ideas from you, Mr. Ware.
Let's do some.
It's been the longest June of my life.
We could raise some money for somebody doing a naked bike
Chihuahua
ride.
on crack text me. He's texting like 8 times in the afternoon. What about this?
Oh my God!
What about this?
Better you than me.
This girl. Are you going to tell anybody who you reached out to yesterday and invited?
Yeah.
You want to do that? Is that okay?
Are we talking about Gracie?
Yeah.
Yes. I called on Friday when she was found. And I
wait a
wanted to
minute.
bring Gracie. I wanted her to. We could park her in the back. I told the
Park her in the
ranch
back.
foreman.
Park her in the
Park her
back.
in the back, and people could take pictures.
We're
with
going to put her in the handicap parking spot by the back
Oh, my
door
God.
and let her stand there so people can take pictures with Gracie on
no,
Thursday.
she's going to be on a trailer, but they just barely got her home yesterday.
Yeah.
They had to tranquilize her, and Gracie's a little moody. Imagine that.
I can only imagine what
So
that
I
must
was
be
like,
like.
That might be a little difficult
well,
to
no
get her.
Gracie, but we're still going to get her apples, carrots, and sweet potatoes.
Oh, nice.
Like a little gift basket.
She's taking a gift basket over to her.
And just so you know, I will naked bike ride with you
I was
if
kidding.
you want to do it.
No, I was joking
Right?
around. It's not going to happen.
No.
I ain't going nowhere but my bathroom and my bedroom naked. Anywhere else?
I don't even go those places naked anymore.
Right. So, no, that's not going to happen. But anyway, yeah, Thursday's going to be great. The music, Rick and I were talking yesterday, too, because I happen to be texting him, too. I'm texting you and him. And he's got a list of really good songs, really good entertainers. It's going to be really cool. We found out yesterday about the Gigi's Cupcakes. They're going to make some special ones for us for Thursday. Nice. So, but, I mean, all this is while supplies last, too. I mean, we're buying a bunch. We're buying a bunch, but we expect a huge crowd. And so you guys, everybody come, bring your family, bring the kids, bring everybody with you. I'm going today to buy the stuff that the kiddos will write the notes on. So I already gave you markers for that.
Right.
Gave you a bag full of markers, so I got to go buy the construction paper and all
And
that
not
today.
just the kiddos. You guys have.
Well, sure.
If you want to write them notes.
Absolutely. Anybody wants to write a note, yeah, we'll have plenty of that for
But
you.
we're not going to have Gracie. I can put you guys in a trailer naked in the back. So
Oh, God. We're back to being naked again. Yeah. People take pictures petting us naked. That's an HR violation.
There might be a few of those,
Well,
too.
if Gracie's moody, I know another 2 guys that are moody, too. So.
What do you mean by that?
Thank you, Jimmy. You're right. This is the place where we take a break. More Ware and Rima coming up, KTSA.
Mr. W Fireworks join Ware and Rima to celebrate America 250. Thursday, July 2nd from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. in the Alamo Lounge. Free breakfast and coffee from PJ's Coffee House. Plus, live music from the Rick Rice Band and more. It's also your chance to support the troops with your donations to Operation Appreciation. Celebrating America 250. Thursday, July 2nd from 7 till 9 with Ware and Rima in the Alamo Lounge. On News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
You know, I consider Dr. Mark Havercorn a friend of mine. He's a baseball fan, a missions fan. He's also a bingo fan. And he's also a fan of treating people right at River City Oral Surgery. And there's a couple of things I try to mention every day that I really, really appreciate about Dr. Mark Havercorn and what he does. In fact, I keep putting it off, but I got to do it. I got a chipped tooth I got to talk to him about that I want to have a consult with him, if you will. But he publishes all the pricing. I know myself, dealing with a lot of medical stuff over the years, that finding out how much a thing costs is usually a difficult task, but not with River City Oral Surgery. All the pricing is published on the website. So if you have some tooth pain, a chipped tooth like me, maybe you need your wisdom teeth taken out, or maybe you need you want to get some dental implants, you can see exactly how much that is going to cost you on the website at rivercityoms.com. So call them up. You also don't need a referral if you want to talk to them. 210-778-0002.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Dave Ramsey here. When your AC quits, the plumbing backs up, or something electrical goes sideways, you need straight answers. That's why I recommend Champion Home Services. They handle heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. One company with no pressure and no games or upselling. Just honesty and clear pricing before anything starts. You see the purple Champion trucks and their belt buckle logo all over town. Champion believes in doing things the right way the first time. They show up on time, respect your home, they respect your money, and they do the work like professionals should, helping you sleep better at night. So when you need reliable AC, plumbing and electrical help from people you can trust, call Champion Home Services at 210-528-1604 or go to championac.com. Trustworthy, Texas-proud home services, championac.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Trey Ware for my friends at Dietz Tractor Company. Since 1973, I've been doing business with Dietz. Well, 45 years, something like that. Love them. That's where you're going to find LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin. Known for top performance, durability, and innovative features, and ideal for tough tasks like mowing and tilling and plowing and hauling. LS Tractors, they are up tough for you. Tractors that are reliable, great for farm, ranch, and landscaping needs everywhere. Start blue and stay blue with LS Tractors. They're really nice machines. You're going to be so comfortable. And you talk about power. Wow. Well, here's what I tell you to do. Just go out to Dietz Tractor Company off of I-10 in Seguin and test drive all these models of LS tractors they have for you. You're going to experience unmatched dealer support at Dietz Tractor Company, too, for parts and maintenance. They're not just selling tractors. They're building lasting relationships. Right now, take advantage of special financing on new LS tractors at Dietz Tractor. They have certain models with rates as low as 0% for up to 120 months or instant cash rebate of up to $6,000. Dietz Tractor in Seguin.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
2 school-age children are recovering in the hospital after they were shot while sleeping in their home. San Antonio police say the shots came from outside the house on the east side. Details still coming in. We now have the name of the child who drowned in Bernie City Lake early Sunday night. The body of the child found early Monday. And the U.S. Supreme Court's expected to hand down more rulings today that are certain to make headlines. We'll keep you caught up on everything happening right here, 550 KTSA and FM 1071. KTSA News Time, 7:33.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay continues to be on 35 northeast side. This report sponsored by Dell Technologies. Pretty much most all our freeway systems are starting to fill in a little bit for your morning rush hour, but on the northeast side on 35, this is our heaviest delay. Southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. Got some ongoing road work now, a 70-minute commute. 2 right lanes closed. Backup starts at Fisher. Nacogdoches still a good alternate route. Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core, so you can work from anywhere. Now from $699 with exclusive student pricing from $599. Find PCs built for you at Dell.com/deals. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Hazy and hot today with the high of 93. Breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy. The low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in the Hill Country. Sunny to partly cloudy. Hot on Wednesday, but a steady breeze. The high of 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
77 degrees and a real feel of 86 at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Let's go. 7:35 at KTSA, Ware and Rima. Okay, so Sophie Cunningham's still ruling the internet right now. She's still out there everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's some new ones that I really dug, and it's all on the X.
Yeah,
it's all on the X account. I was telling you about that. Anyway, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No. I was just looking at some of these, so I'm glad you're on this.
Okay. Well, one of them is she's in the basket of Henry Thomas's bike.
Oh, E.T.?
Who, by the way, is from San Antonio.
I knew. Yeah, I almost got to work with him.
Yeah,
actually,
and so
a few months
she's in
ago.
the basket, and she's E.T. with the finger.
That's funny.
She's also. Do y'all remember when the woman lost her stuff on the airplane in the aisleway and was walking out, and she was screaming at somebody who wasn't there? You know, those people. Remember her? And she had her 15 minutes on the internet. Well, they got her doing that too, except she's pointing in the middle of the plane.
I think pointing at somebody is the best way to let them know exactly what you think.
Well,
good on her.
She
man.
rules the day for it,
Yeah.
man. And then I got some other videos that she, is just killing it on the basketball court. She also was a kicker on a football team. A lot of people didn't know that. But something kind of
the martial arts is what kind of fascinated me. I guess she actually came right out and said, "I'm defending Caitlin Clark." She's being targeted by the WNBA.
Absolutely. I put that up yesterday. The day before, I put up the podcast. Told you about it yesterday that she was on, and she said, "That's my job.
Yeah,
I'm the enforcer."
Good on her, man.
I got some other quick hits. The heat dome, 230 million people being affected by the heat dome this week. It's when high pressure settles over and it just pushes the hot air down. It holds it over you, and it pushes it down. High means dry, so everybody knows, and high means heat in most of the cases.
Well, I mentioned that earlier that, it's going to be in D.C. D.C. is going to be hot, man, with this thing for the 4th of July celebration. So is New York.
Hot for them is going to be 95, 96.
Yeah,
we live with that all the time.
But that's hot for them.
That is hot.
It's very hot for them.
Well, it's hot for us, too.
Yeah.
Alabama, instant divine justice. A man allegedly killed his girlfriend by strangling her. Daniel Robbins, 44, allegedly strangled Jessica Folge, 47, when he was disposing of the body out of his truck. He was hit by a heart attack and he died. They found him next to her. So there you go. God said it wasn't her time yet, and you took her, and so I'm going to take you.
I was going to bring this up a little later. Yeah, they found him in the fetal position on the chair, on the ground next to her after trying to dispose of her body, and that's what did him in. Is he had a massive coronary apparently, and that was
his
it.
ex-wife said he had all kinds of heart trouble.
Yeah,
and
moving the body is probably a lot of exertion. You
would think,
probably. So,
why do we have peeping Tom laws?
Why do we have peeping Tom laws?
No, why do we have peeping Tom laws?
Keep people
Because
from
we have
keep
peeping Toms?
Keep Toms from peeping.
Okay, I just wondered.
That's deep, Sean. That's deep.
Thanks, Christian. Thank you.
And by the way, I agree
That's
with
for free,
peeping.
baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
You agree
Go
with
ahead.
peeping.
Go ahead.
I agree with peeping Tom laws.
Oh, okay.
I agree with the laws. What I don't understand is how can the same government that says it's illegal to be a peeping Tom say it's okay for a guy to go in a woman's locker room?
Well, there's the great hypocrisy.
That makes sense to anybody?
Good point. Yep. Yeah,
if
it
a
is.
trans is looking in your window, is that okay?
See?
That's the question.
See?
Well, no, it doesn't make any
If
sense.
it's a guy
at all.
with lipstick on, he can look through your window.
He can be in the bathroom. He can be anywhere. He can
Or into the
videotape you.
stall you're in.
So
Yeah.
that's the truth. If it's a guy with the lipstick on and maybe a dress, the cop can't arrest him.
Can't arrest him. He's just expressing himself. Or herself. Itself.
Expression.
Trump said yesterday that gas retailers need to lower the prices that they are price gouging right now. I said that a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Yes,
We discussed it, how it goes up in a hurry, but it takes forever to come down because they want those prices to stay high. And by the way, they never come all the way down. Okay, they establish a new floor every time they do this, and the new floor is always higher than the last floor was. This is called incrementalism. This is how they get more and more out of you. Andy O'Brien is the main AFL-CIO spokesperson. Okay, he said anybody who does not support Graham Plattner should be executed.
Executed.
We should kill them.
That's a bit harsh.
If you don't support Graham Plattner, you should die. We should kill you. When he was called out on it, he said, I was only joking. I was making a joke. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You're one of the Democrat communists who is part of the death cult, and that's what the death cult goes to that first. If you don't agree, you die. Agree or die.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's it's really dark, It's descent via death, You deserve everything that you get if you would disagree with us. And we get this from who? The people who claim to be the most tolerant people in the world, and we're accepting of all things. Unless you disagree with us, and you should die.
Then we kill you.
Then you should be tortured, and you should die.
DOJ is investigating Ruben Gallego. Ruben Gallego was the Swalwell bro who was on camels and everything else with Swalwell, apparently. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. Now the DOJ is latched on to it. spent campaign money on Super Bowl, Disney, and child care, and they're interested in his sexual misconduct and the St. Bart's vacation he went on, using apparently campaign money as a little slush fund so he could go have a good time. He's just partying up.
No politician has ever done that.
Well, especially with Eric Swalwell.
Well, yeah.
Trump signed an executive order yesterday with Lee Zeldin, the head of the EPA, there yesterday, saying you have a right to fix your own car. Now, remember what the previous administration, Barack's third term, was doing to you. They were taking all your rights to doing. Remember, you couldn't have your own gas stove.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
Taking your combustion engine car away from you. You had to buy an electric vehicle. All those kind of things that they were in the process of doing. Well, they also put in California regulations because of clean air that you can't fix your own car. You have to take it to a certified mechanic to get a certified mechanic to fix your own car. So a guy with a toolbox and greasy fingernails couldn't go out and fix his own car in California. Trump said that's absolutely nonsense, so he signed an executive order yesterday, the right to fix your own car.
He also signed, which I agree with. He also signed an executive action we can buy about buying fertilizer, I think, from Morocco or something like that.
Got to get it.
Got to get fertilizer from Morocco.
I thought the fertilizer discussion with Bobby was interesting yesterday.
I didn't pay as much attention to that. I was more into the question and answer period.
He's talking about, this was Bobby. This was a different, it wasn't with Trump.
No.
And he was talking about how farmers are going to try a new set of farming without as many pesticides and all that stuff to keep it safe.
Sure.
That the highest rates of cancer are in Iowa right now because of the farming in Iowa. A lot of these guys are spraying these pesticides on the crops. Not only is it killing the soil, which it is doing, it's killing the soil, but it's killing the farmers too. So Bobby's getting away from it.
It's a largely farming state. It's where my whole family's from. Yeah, they've been breathing that stuff in for a long time.
I just love Bobby. I think, this country, I think he's not appreciated enough right now in what he's doing for the future health of our country. It's going to take a long time. It took a long time to get here to where everybody is obese and out of shape, and cardiovascular disease is a leading cause of death and cancer and all these other things. But he's doing a great work in reestablishing healthy lives in America. And I'm not talking about living till you're 180. That's ridiculous. But making sure that you're not dependent on 47 pills a day.
Right.
Which is why Big Pharma did what they did with the food supply, so that you would be dependent on that many pills. And he's trying to get away from that. I think it's a great idea. It's going to save us a lot of money, particularly if the Democrat communists pass Medicare for all. It'll save us a lot of money.
I agree, and I take 9 pills a day.
Do you?
You know that. I
didn't know how many it was.
Like, I don't know, 9 or 10.
I knew you did. I knew you took pills.
Cholesterol, heart stuff, all that stuff.
Frying Pan Tower. It's an old Coast Guard light deck. It's off of North Carolina's coast. It's 34 miles out in the Atlantic. It's also a place for $200 a night. You can go vacation there, and people love it. The waters are shark infested around it.
That doesn't sound very vacation-y.
They go out there. Well, it depends. If your vacation is to get away from the world, you're away from the world.
Yeah, I guess so. No one's going to come visit you.
One of the last times I went to deep sea fishing, we went about 30 miles out, and there was an oil derrick in the Gulf of Mexico, and we latched onto that.
Wow.
To fish from.
I've never been deep sea fishing. Maybe someday I'll go.
It's a cool deal. And finally, the story of a 13-year-old Shih Tzu, Elaine. Okay, a 13-year-old Shih Tzu named Apollo went missing in Florida. He got out from under his fence. He was gone for a couple of months. They found him because he was microchipped when he showed up in Long Island, New York, some 1,300 miles away. 2 months later, he was wearing a tag that said Yuri. He had a different name tag on, but when they chipped him, sure enough, it was Apollo from Florida. He is now reunited with his family.
That little Shih Tzu. Running off.
She got half that out. I'm like, hey, I need the gig.
Texas Rhino Shield on your home looks great, and it protects your home like nothing else will. When you put Rhino Shield on your home, not only are you getting something that paint cannot possibly match when it comes to the beauty of Rhino Shield, but also the protection value. It's 9 times thicker than paint. It is a ceramic coating, and so the sun's UV rays, which even on cloudy days you're being bombarded with UV rays, they don't make it onto the surface of your home, whether that's wood, stucco, brick, hardy board, aluminum, whatever. With Rhino Shield, it goes on anything, and the prep time is minimal. It is amazing when they put this on. First thing they do is they bathe your home thoroughly. They wash it up really well. And then they come back, they repair anything that needs to be repaired. And in our case, we had just a couple of boards on a bay window that they really weren't happy with. It wasn't bad, but they just said, you know what, let's go ahead and replace those. I said, fine, yeah, it's part of the price, let's do it. And then they put the Rhino Shield on, gave us a 25-year warranty guarantee. It doesn't matter whatever you want to call it. They're going to be here to back up this warranty for the next 25 years. So why don't you find out more about it? I'm just one of the happiest things that I have done for the warehouse quite some time is do the Rhino Shield just a few months ago. And right now they'll give you $2,500 off. By the way, the other thing I love about it, like most of my sponsors, they're family-owned and operated right here with Texas Rhino Shield at TexasRhinoShield.com. Mostly sunny mid-90s today, 77 now KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay continues to be 35 northeast side. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and that's due to road work southbound 35 Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. It is over an hour delay now. Traffic is stopped from FM 1103, so Nacogdoches still a good alternate route. It's starting to get overloaded, though. But again, 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. 2 right lanes closed, heavy with construction. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP or MADD.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Stay on top of the latest news wherever you are. Stream KTSA on the go. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Is your home ready for a fresh new look and real protection from the Texas weather? Trust the siding experts who have been family-owned and operated for over 75 years. At Window World in Brickstone, we specialize in beautiful, durable exterior solutions designed to transform your home and boost curb appeal. Choose from industry-leading James Hardie siding, engineered for strength, style, and lasting performance. Love the timeless appearance of stone or brick? Ask about our elegant Brickstone masonry siding. Want a sleek, modern exterior? Our stucco options deliver clean lines and classic beauty. Or discover our selection of composite siding systems. Whether you're updating one wall or transforming your entire home, our experienced team will help you choose the perfect look for your style and budget. And with flexible financing options available, there's never been a better time to upgrade your home's exterior. Visit us online today at WindowWorldTX.com and schedule your free in-home consultation. Family owned, Window World in Brickstone, your siding experts.
When you're fighting the insurance companies, it can feel like David and Goliath. Let Thomas J. Henry level the playing field and give your case the strength it needs. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. TJHLaw.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Losing power? Check engine light? Stop guessing. At DPFR, we diagnose and repair diesel trucks the right way. DPFR. Diesel problems fixed right. Call 726-888-7990 or visit dpfrsa.com.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on our versatile, reliable lineup. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Let us help you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Ewald Kubota location today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, get select Kubota compact tractors with 0% financing available or save up to $5,500. So stop by any Ewald Kubota location or visit ewaldkubota.com.
Now through June 30th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, it's Sean. Here in Texas now offers subscription plans where you always have the latest technology for your hearing aids with locked-in pricing. Always the latest model. Make an appointment for a consultation today, 830-360-2000, hereinTexas.com.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And it's 7:50 with Ware and Rima at KTSA.
I want to talk about some media stuff here for a second. This is an interesting story that I ran across, and just some rambling before we get there. I've worked in some situations over the years where I wasn't all that happy. You know what I mean? Or I've worked with individuals I wasn't all that happy working with, and I suppose when I left there, I could have ran my mouth about what displeased me, but I've always been that guy. Keep moving forward. You know, when something ends, you keep moving forward. You don't dwell on what went on before. Having said that, I sure as hell would never have ran my mouth on social media about a situation that I was currently in. I'm sure you saw this story about this meteorologist in Houston, Brittany Begley, and she went on Instagram, and I guess she didn't get an Emmy, and she started posting stuff about the station and how traffic reporters aren't ever considered for Emmys, meteorologists aren't considered for Emmys, and then she started calling out like the anchors, saying, you know, they got people that show up unprepared and they're late and they're just getting mic'd up 10 minutes before they go on the air. And I just did a big Instagram post on it, big social media post. And wow, she got fired, Trey.
Yeah.
they let her go. I mean, what do you think you're going to accomplish by doing something like that? By going off on your employers while you're currently working for them. I had a guy who used to do that in Denver. He was a fill-in talk show host and weekend guy, and he had won an Emmy at some point for some stupid show he did. And he would go on the air and complain about management not giving him more time because he was an Emmy winner. And, you know, would go on and on the air about that stuff. And he ultimately, you know, got let go because he was a a-hole. But I don't understand what you think you're going to accomplish by going off on, again, your employers while you're working there. You think that they're not going to notice that, or that they're not going to maybe want to cut you loose if you voice your displeasure in that way?
Unless she figured she was already number one on the way out.
Maybe.
This is the only thing I can figure, is that maybe she wanted to be fired so that she could get all the benefits of being fired instead of quitting. She really wanted to quit because she was unhappy, and she gets the added benefit of guys like us talking about her.
Well, yeah, and I know, once again, I'm giving attention to somebody that I probably shouldn't be giving attention to, but I just see it as
I'm not saying that.
I just see it as very bad behavior.
Yeah,
you come off looking like an a-hole. I don't care if you want to get fired or not. Then if you don't want to stay there, then get up and leave. I understand wanting to get fired and all that stuff.
So you get all the benefits, and you can file for unemployment.
It doesn't make you look like a stellar human being when that's your choice, in my opinion.
No, that's what they do.
I think it's very bad behavior.
It's terrible. It's absolutely it's absolutely awful. And I wasn't referring to you calling attention. I'm just saying, you asked what the motivation is, and that's part of the motivation for a lot of these people when they do stupid stuff. It's so that they get more attention drawn to them.
Right.
So, but the problem is there's only 5 people that work in media these days, okay? Everybody else has been fired from media. There's all media is only 5 people nationwide. So now you just ticked off 3.5 of the 5. They're not going to hire you. Your media career is over. Amy Palmer's joining us on the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline. She's president and CEO of Soldiers Angels, and this coming Thursday right here at KTSA, we wrapping up Operation Appreciation for the umpteenth year that we have been involved with Soldiers Angels putting this together. Amy, good morning, and thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We are so blessed to be a part of this with you guys and grabbing this stuff that we can send over to the troops around the world. This is a great idea that you guys came up with years ago. Love doing this with you every year.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your support, especially right now with a number of packages that we're having to send over, for the influx of folks that are registering with us now. Every item that we get really helps out, from snacks to hygiene to crossword puzzles, all those things. It all makes a difference, and we're able to get lots of packages to those that are serving.
What's causing the recent influx of a bigger number for you guys?
Yeah, it goes in waves. I mean, of course, with what's going on in the world, we're seeing increased deployments, of course. And so we're seeing groups of folks register all in one. So we'll get one unit at one time that will, they'll land in country, and then they'll have a large number register at once. And so for our folks that adopt and support those service members, when you have, a large volume at one time, it takes a while before we have enough folks to send them care packages directly. So we subsidize those from our office. So like today, we want to make sure every service member gets a package every month. And so today we're going to send any of them that did not get a package this month. Those will all go out today from our office just to make sure we meet that requirement for them for June. And then, of course, we start all over July 1 and hopefully get those folks all adopted. But if not, we'll backfill them to make sure everybody gets a package.
Well, and that's something that we also bring up, we have throughout Operation Appreciation, is that you not only need people to drop stuff off and make donations of things that you can send, but you have to send that. That's not an inexpensive thing to do. So you need financial donations as well throughout this.
Absolutely. There's several options to support, including dropping off items at the drop-off locations you all have advertised from your supporters, which has been really great. You also can go to Amazon, and we have an Amazon wish list on our website at soldiersangels.org where people can buy those items and they're shipped directly to us from Amazon. People can drop off items at our office as well in San Antonio, but the cash contributions too. We pay for every care package to go overseas, and because they're shipped to APOs and FPOs, that's a government contract, so they have to be done through the Postal Service, and so it costs us about $20 for each package to ship. So we, the content's a lot. Mostly, fortunately, we're able to get most of those donated, but we do, have to cover the cost of the shipping.
Thank you.
Any cash contributions are a big help.
Absolutely. And you can do that through our website at ktsa.com. Amy Palmer, thank you so much, Amy, and we look forward to seeing you Thursday here at KTSA. We're going to have hot dogs. We're going to have PJ's Coffee. We're going to have Gigi's Cupcakes. I got flags from Pete Vandepute over at Dixie Flag Manufacturing, so we got flags. We got all kinds of little gifts we're going to be handing out. I'm going to go pick up some stuff today so the kiddos can write notes to those troops. And as she just said, the numbers are higher now because of the deployment numbers going up, and we got whole sections, battalions going over there, so they're all registering at one time. So come on over Thursday morning, 7 to 9. It's all free. KTSA.
The Ramsey Reality Check is brought to you by Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net.
Listen, folks, roofing is one of those categories that if you don't go with someone you trust, it could end up costing you more in the end. That's why you need to call my friends at Stevens Roofing. These guys work all over South Texas, and I trust them to give you an affordable solution for all your roofing needs. They repair and install all kinds of roofing, including metal or composition, commercial or residential. Whether you have a simple leak or need a whole new roof, Stevens will take great care of you. You can count on competitive prices, and they'll communicate with you throughout the process. Stevens is licensed with the City of San Antonio. Plus, with any roof replacement, you'll get an instant savings of $300 and a free ridge vent. Folks, make sure maintaining your home is included in your budget, and when life happens, call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. That's 785-0994, or at stevensroofing.net. Tell them Dave sent you.
The healthiest patients in San Antonio are at the Institute for Functional Health. I'm Dr. Torres, and we help folks get off medications, feel better, look better, and become undeniably healthy. You've struggled with the same health concerns for a long time. It's frustrating, depressing, and nothing has worked. The good news is, at the Institute for Functional Health, we know everyone is unique, and medicine is never a one-size-fits-all solution. That's why we order specific labs to uncover the root cause of your symptoms. Your blood gives us all the answers, and we develop a doctor-supervised game plan that is specifically designed for you. Over the last decade, we have helped thousands of individuals look and feel years younger. All of us at the Institute for Functional Health are proud to say we have the healthiest patients in San Antonio, and we will help you become part of that club. See for yourself at iffhealth.com and call to schedule your complimentary consultation at 468-1891. 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 468-1891.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 8 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. 2 children, both expected to survive after they were shot while sleeping early this morning. San Antonio police say their home was shot at, and the bullets hit each child in the back and the leg. The shots were fired in the 4,000 block of Comanche Sunrise on the east side. Investigators think the shots came from behind the home, but they're not saying if the home was shot intentionally or on accident. The investigation continues. There's more on the front page at KTSA.com. We now have the name of the boy who drowned in Bernie City Lake Sunday night.
The Bernie Fire Department says his name is Jalen Robinson, and he was 13 years old. Fire crews responded to a 911 call reporting a child lost in the water. Divers found his body around 9 o'clock Monday morning, about 12 to 15 feet underwater and about 20 feet from the lake shore. Officials are reminding you to take all steps needed to keep children safe in the water, with lots of swimming still to come this summer. Elias Oswald, KTSA News.
Supreme Court decisions on birthright citizenship for babies of illegal immigrants or visitors to the U.S. expected today from the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court will also be deciding on transgender participation in sports. A decision yesterday from the Supreme Court essentially allows limitless mail-in ballots that could be counted well beyond Election Day. And that's got President Trump refocusing his efforts on the Save America Act.
Until the Senate acts on his priority, Trump is refusing to sign a major bipartisan housing bill.
What are your plans for the housing bill, Mr. President?
I don't know. I think it's so unimportant by compared to the Save America Act.
The bill would help millions of Americans afford housing, and Republicans are hoping to tout it as a win heading into November. But the president now labeling the legislation a yawn.
That's correspondent Mary Bruce. KTSA News Time is 8:02. Let's check in with Rob Thompson once again. KTSA Sports.
In the NBA, it's free agency day. It begins today, 5 o'clock our time. That kept the Spurs busy yesterday. They signed forward Julian Champagnie to a new 3-year, $45 million contract. It's a de-escalating deal that'll have more available at the end for other players. They're also keeping forward Harrison Barnes. He'll sign a 1-year, $8 million deal to stay with the Spurs. In other NBA news, the Memphis Grizzlies traded Ja Morant to the Portland Trail Blazers for a bag of beans, a bowl of cereal, Jeremy Grant, and Chris Murray. The Unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis, is staying in Golden State. He'll re-up with the Warriors with a 2-year, $40 million deal. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA News Time is 8:03.
Dave Ramsey here, and I love my Connecticut water softener. Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, complete with a color fixture to match your kitchen. That means cleaner, better tasting water for coffee, cooking, ice, and everyday drinking. The Connecticut K5 drinking water station removes up to 99% of many contaminants and can be customized for your home. So instead of buying bottled water or wondering what's really coming out of your tap, you get cleaner, great tasting water right where you use it most. A Connecticut runs on energy from your water flow, which means no electricity, no timer, and no computer that can break. With its twin tank system, you get soft water 24/7. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country for a free water test at 210-656-PURE. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
I'm Laura with Mr. Electric. Summer storms are brutal.
I'm Matt. One storm or brownout can turn your tech and appliances into expensive paperweights.
Let our experts install surge protection from Mr. Electric.
Call 210-248-2026 or visit MrElectric.com and enter your zip code.
Trey Ware here. Texas Rhino Shield, it's a difference maker. 9 times thicker than paint. This ceramic coating protects your home against the sun's UV rays like nothing else can. Log on today and find out how you can save $2,500 on your project. TexasRhinoShield.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time coming up on 8:05. Let's see what's happening in KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. This road work on the northeast side causing heavy delays. Might want to avoid it. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. I'm down to 1604. 2 right lanes are closed. This is well over 80-minute delay now. That backup starts at FM 1103. Nacogdoches, you can try it as an alternate route, but that's getting overloaded as well. 35 southbound before Frostbank Center Drive, stalled. It's off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
A hot day for our Tuesday with hazy sunshine, the high of 93. It's still breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and warm, the low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in Hill Country. Sunny to partly cloudy with a steady afternoon breeze on Wednesday and the high 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
78 degrees right now, the real feel 88. At San Antonio's severe weather station, I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Any minute now, we expect the transports ruling and the birthright citizenship ruling from the Supreme Court as they get ready to walk out the door. And I'm guessing that they've already walked out the door. I played the sound from Clarence Thomas last hour where he was at the House of Representatives yesterday, and I think he just went to say goodbye to a few folks as he headed off for the summer break. They'll be back the first Monday in October, and their rulings are now being handed out. The differences between President Trump and Joe Biden are vast. I mean, we could literally do a month's worth of our radio shows for the differences. Just the border is a prime example. But there are so many others. The price of energy that is coming down and how it's much more affordable, regulation coming down, the safety in the cities, all of the things that we as Americans absolutely love and cherish that Donald Trump is giving to us now. But respect for the other co-equal branches of government is also something that's a huge difference between the two. Let me give you an example. Yesterday, birthright citizenship came up in the Oval Office. This is what President Trump said about it.
Birthright citizenship is next. What are your thoughts? Birthright citizenship, what are your thoughts? And will you accept it if it rules against you?
Well, I guess I have to accept it's the Supreme Court. So
okay, so yes, I will accept it because it is the Supreme Court. Joe Biden was told by the Supreme Court on forgiving debt for college people, you can't do that.
Supreme Court blocked me from relieving student debt, but they didn't stop me. So far, I've relieved student debt for nearly 5 million Americans. A significant number are black borrowers. So you can chase your dreams, start a family, buy your first home.
So who's the real fascist? Who is the real overlord? Who's the real dictator in America? I know the Democrat media, the communist media in America likes to call Donald Trump a dictator, like he's just running with an iron fist. He's in charge, and he never listens to anybody else. There he is saying, I'll accept it. And by the way, he's accepted every other ruling that these insurrectionist Obama judges have handed down to him. Now, they've continued through the system, but he has accepted those rulings and followed those rulings to a T, where Joe Biden, meaning Barack Obama's third term, disregarded every ruling that came against them. Every one of them.
It was a very quick line. It kind of zipped on by, but I remember taking note of it while watching the press conference yesterday that, yeah, that's who he is. Well, it's the Supreme Court. I got to abide by what they say. And, yeah, if he's a dictator, he royally sucks at it. He's really not very good because a dictator wouldn't give a crap about something called the Supreme Court. A true dictator doesn't give a crap about separations of power or any of that stuff. And, again, yeah, you can point to Joe Biden and have a concrete example of where he did just that.
On a number of occasions. You know, that one in particular. And we railed against that at the time because that's like saying, okay, next in line is going to be home loans.
Right.
I'll forgive home loans, and taxpayers got to pay that. Whatever they got to do to try to win votes of a certain sector. Just like I told you earlier, Brandon Gill had to file some legislation that is going to prevent them from using the federal housing home loan rule for illegal aliens. They were giving the backstop on mortgages from our tax money,
right?
Our tax money backing those mortgages. They were giving them to illegal aliens to entice them, inducements to come to the United States of America and vote Democrat. That's what we're talking about.
Well, the president
here
mentioned that yesterday again. That that's what when you can't sell what you're presenting to the American people, you have to do things like that. I want to clear up something we heard from the news there when Donald Trump said yesterday. It wasn't a long press briefing or press appearance. It was only, about 15, 16 minutes long. And they reported that he called the housing bill a yawn. Full context, right? Full context. He said, No, it's a yawn in regards to the Save America Act. Okay, if we don't pass the Save America Act, all of these other bills he said are yawners compared to the Save America Act, which is the important one. So a little bit of context. When he said the housing bill was a yawn, he didn't say he hated it, didn't say he loved it. It does some nice things he likes, does some other things that are kind of hinky-winky, but he wasn't saying it itself was a yawn. He said compared to the Save America Act, it's a yawn.
They did that 3 weeks ago with his inflation comment, where he said, I love the inflation numbers, okay? And they put that out as him saying, I love that inflation is going higher. That's not what he said. He said, and he was talking, and they cut off half of what he said. He was talking about in time of war, with these gas prices as high as they are, you would think that inflation would be much higher. But I love what's happening with inflation right now because it's not much higher.
If you isolate that, though, it sounds like he's
saying. They do it all the time.
And just like with the housing thing, president thinks that's a yawn, people not being able to build their houses and stuff, and that's not what he said.
If you're still listening to the news, you're insane. You need to go and lay on some couch and let some guy talk to you for an hour and pay him a whole lot of money for that, because if you're listening to the news, that's what you're getting right there.
Well, if you got limited sources, that's all you're getting.
Go create an X account and follow these people who are telling you the truth. Here is the president yesterday.
The mail-in ballot ruling, which was a little bit surprising, gives people more time to vote illegally, let's say. But the SAVE Act is even more important, and that's the right. You have to be a citizen of our country. Okay, you have to show you're a citizen of our country, called citizenship. Voter ID by photo voter ID, and no mail-in ballots unless you're in the military, disabled, you're ill, or you're away, or even on a vacation. We're being very open about it.
Being very open, I call it generous, and that's exactly what they are. They're being very generous by saying if you're on vacation. They should take that one out of there and say, okay, if you're in the military, deployed, that's fine. If you're bedridden, that's fine. Otherwise, come to the poll on election day. Not election month, not election season, election day, and cast your ballot. We're going to take an early break because we want to try to catch these rulings if they start coming down. They typically come down around 15, so we'll go ahead and do the break now, Jimmy, and we'll move on from there. Let me tell you about our friends at Here, H-E-A-R, Here in Texas. With Here in Texas, you've got a team of audiologists and assistants who are on your side to help take care of your hearing issues, no matter what caused that. In my case, I was born with hearing deficiency. I was hearing disabled when I was born, and it just got worse over time. Life choices, I did it to myself, but, I was born that way. Sean just got that way through just years on the planet, where in a noisy environment he couldn't hear what was going on around him. It's really, really difficult when you can't hear. It does affect the quality of your life. And if you want to improve the quality of your life, I want to send you right to Here in Texas, HEAR, and meet with their great audiologists. They have 2 locations, one of them in New Braunfels, the other in Dripping Springs. And they're ready to meet with you, do your hearing evaluation, find out what's happening with your hearing, exactly where you are, and what they can do to help your hearing. Instead of going to the big box stores, which is real popular right now, but you're not going to get the service you're going to get from Here in Texas, and certainly not prescribe the right hearing aids for your environment. That's what you're going to get from Here in Texas. The true pros that have helped me hear my wife and my beautiful granddaughter so much better, and I'm singing again. I'm really having a good time because I can hear so much better from Here in Texas, HEAR, here in TX.com. Mostly sunny with mid-90s today, 78 right now, KTSA.
Good morning. This road work on the northeast side causing heavy delays. Might want to avoid it. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. 2 right lanes are closed. This is well over 75, 80-minute delay now. That backup starts at FM 1103. Nacogdoches, you can try it as an alternate route, but that's getting overloaded as well. 35 southbound before Frostbank Center Drive stalled. It's off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
The headlines the others miss. From Texas to the nation and around the world. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
After an auto accident, you might be feeling battered and bruised, even if you are wearing a seatbelt. Well, now's the time to hire Thomas J. Henry Law to get in the ring for you. Thomas J. Henry Law. Get started at tjhlaw.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Well, if you're like most investors, you're probably a bit confused on what to do with your investment portfolio right now. There's been a lot of volatility. We've seen a big move in interest rates, a war, new technology being introduced, and rising inflation. Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When I talk to listeners like you, the biggest issue I see when reviewing their portfolio is that there is no strategy or game plan. Without a game plan, it makes achieving your financial goals very difficult. It's probably time to schedule a free financial checkup with me. I'll personally analyze your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return. There will not be a high-pressured sales pitch at this meeting, just a clear, concise conversation about your specific financial situation. We actively manage assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. Give us a call at 210-526-0057 or visit us online at creatingricherlives.com.
CapTrust Financial Advisors is an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940 and does not render legal advice.
At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
Jack in 60 Minutes. This morning at 10 on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
It's Tuesday, June 30th, last day of June. Coming up on Thursday, big party at KTSA, all free, 7 to 9 a.m. Come on by.
And Steve Ducey has this cowboy hat that has the stars and stripes on it. I have the exact same hat. My dad gave it to me when I first moved to Texas. So I'm going to wear that on Thursday morning. I'm going to wear my Stars and Stripes cowboy hat to our event, our party celebrating this country from 7 to 9 a.m. in the Alamo Lounge on Thursday. It's going to be lots of fun. A couple of things. We were talking about the president yesterday, and I liked it was an interesting statement. Again, it was mercifully brief. Didn't go on for a long time. Didn't take a lot of questions yesterday, but he gave his response to the Supreme Court decisions. But he was talking about communism, which, and to your credit, you've been calling it communism for quite a while. And he said, he kind of repeated something you've said, and I've said, socialism, socialism, or Democrats, socialists is kind of a nice way of putting it, but they're communists. And he said the communist threat in America is a bigger threat to this country, to the existence of this country, than World War I, World War II, 9/11, Pearl Harbor, and I absolutely agreed. Because the communist threat in this country is really eats away at the very foundation of what we are. Okay, you can rebuild buildings, and we did, if an airplane slams into them. You don't wish that on anybody, and we still mourn the dead. But we rebuilt the buildings, okay? If you gnaw away at the very foundations of this country, you can't rebuild that once it's gone because it'll be impossible to rebuild it once it's gone because the people who would accomplish that will never allow for this country to rise again from the ashes of what it used to be. So I thought it was a perfectly appropriate example to say World War II, yeah, horrible. 9/11, horrible. Pearl Harbor, horrible.
Awful.
But not as, and to use one of their words that they misuse, but I'll use it here, not the existential threat to the survival of this country, to the survival, continued existence of this country. The communist threat is dramatically worse in that sense.
So we were told, we'll take you over without firing a shot. That's what we were told. Yeah. And what they did, they were very strategic about it and played the long game. They started to put their people on school boards. They put people in the classroom. They put people in the music and television and movie industry to push, really, the communistic viewpoint in a strong way. So now we have a couple of generations that have had this stuff packed into their heads while they've been watching television or listening to music or, going to school. So they come out and they start to feel this way. They start to understand this. Columbia is the worst. In America, Columbia University is absolutely worst, and it's no surprise that's where we had all the Palestine stuff go on. So you have a lot of people that's what they actually believe is that, oh, yeah, the government's just supposed to give me everything, and I don't have to do anything for it. That's what the government is for. They did that in a couple of big ways. This started over 60 years ago when they started to infuse the communist mind virus out there through all these different media and everything else in college. But then they came forward with the whole, Great Society, Lyndon Baines Johnson. We just going to give it to you. You deserve it, so we're going to give it to you. That's when welfare exploded. Welfare wasn't a thing in the first part of the 1900s, in the 20th century. It was not. It didn't exist. It was not there for that. So Then they grew the welfare state through the late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and up until today. But the reason I looked at Christian a second ago when you were talking, we had that conversation this morning because we learned about Joseph McCarthy while we were in school, who had hearings about communists.
Yes, we did.
And he was, and it was done by the media. The media just drug him through the dirt and the mud and the muck in such a bad way that we were taught in school, in our generation, we were taught, what an idiot, what a fool, what a conspiratorialist, what a horrible person he was.
He was taught as a villain.
That's right.
And they had a lot of Hollywood actors at the time,
That's right.
movie directors and producers who were quote-unquote blacklisted because they were communists, and so they kind of used that as a way to make them sympathetic. And so a lot of what he was saying at the time was really kind of diluted by this idea that you're unfairly targeting people. I mean, come on, you're going after freaking Charlie Chaplin, okay, and he can't be a bad guy. And so that's how they really kind of accomplished that. But a lot of what he said has come to pass.
Well, that's right.
You know, it really has.
A lot of the stuff that he predicted, but what did they do to him? What was it they did to him? They ruined his reputation.
Sure.
And that's what I learned. And I went to school in the Stone Ages, and that's what I learned in school.
Well, that's what I learned.
Stone
I mean,
he was horrible.
70s and 80s.
Terrible, man.
He was a horrible person, and he targeted people.
Nut
And he
job.
was vile, and people
Crazy.
lost their livelihoods.
They even showed us film. They would have, class, and they would show films in the class, and they showed us a film of him just going off, and you are a communist, aren't you? You are a communist. And they're like, oh, my God, what is he doing to these? No way this poor little dude is a communist, like you said, Charlie Chaplin. No way he's a communist or whatever. But sure enough, he knew much more than he was talking about, and that's why they freaked out. That's why they went over after his reputation. Had he not been true about this stuff, they would have never, ever gone after his reputation. They would have left him alone.
Well, Trump has said that, that one of the reasons he's targeted is because he's an effective president. One of the reasons Joe McCarthy was targeted because a lot of what he was saying was true. And the truth sometimes scares the hell out of people. And so he was targeted. And, yeah, you and I grew up with that idea. It's kind of like the same. We grew up with the idea that we lost in Vietnam or that we did something, that Vietnam War did not really transpire the way it actually did. It's kind of the same thing with the McCarthy hearings in that it was demonized in our classrooms when you and I were growing up. That was the popular idea about Joe McCarthy, is that he was an awful human being and he unfairly targeted people and would label them a communist just so he could cancel their careers and blah, blah, blah. But it was the opposite was largely
just
true.
A few days ago, we talked about another guy. The left did that too, and the left always does this. They always do
it's
this.
A hallmark.
We just talked about Richard Nixon a few days ago.
Yeah.
And Richard Nixon, on balance, had a very effective presidency, and that's what got him drugged through the muck. He had an effective presidency. He was doing some really cool things for America. The commies and the death to America people couldn't have that. So, we'll just set up this whole thing called Washington Hotel, the Watergate Hotel, and we'll have this whole
he
thing
didn't help himself.
He didn't help himself. Of course, he didn't help himself. He didn't help himself at all. But as I said the other day, the truth of the matter is, they've all done it. Exactly what he did.
But that doesn't make it right.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but I mean, the sad thing about Richard Nixon is that became his legacy.
Right.
All the other stuff went away. And that, again, was something that was very popular in our classrooms when we were growing up.
That's right.
Was that Richard Nixon was a criminal, he was awful. And I told you about a week ago that it wasn't until I really started doing my own reading in my early teens that you realized, nope, he was a very effective president.
And that's why they did what they did to
Yeah.
him. The same thing with McCarthy. The same identical thing with McCarthy. They took him on, and they had to destroy his entire reputation forever. And you're right. I've never said two wrongs make a right, and I've always said Richard Nixon did not help himself at all. He did a lot of bad things when it came to that particular issue. But they ruined his entire legacy of the entirety of his presidency. Why? Because he was an effective president.
We're seeing it going on in real time with Donald
Correct.
Trump.
That
It's
is correct.
exactly what they're trying to do to him. There's this popular notion of him as a racist, and he's a xenophobe, and he's a dictator, and he's oppressive, and he doesn't care about the rule of law. And yet, all you can see with your own eyes just how not true that is. But it doesn't matter. Okay, if the way they want things to transpire actually takes place, and this country becomes what we don't want it to become, That is what will be taught about Donald Trump in the classrooms of the future.
Well,
is that
of
he was
course
a horrible dictator, and a
course.
racist, and he put people in camps,
right,
and all that stuff.
And to bring it back to the communist thing, again, that's what McCarthy was talking about. God, that's 70 years ago now.
Yeah. I remember him compared directly to the Salem witch trials in the late 80s when I was in high school. And a very limited discussion about him. It was in, out,
You're right.
He was bad, and let's move on.
There was not a lot of classroom time spent on the reality of it at all. You're
Very
right.
little.
You're right. Joe McCarthy bad. That's what we were taught.
Well, like Trey said, I mean, history gives us so many examples of people who are relentlessly slandered by the power complex, all the way back to Galileo.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, they didn't like him either. Yeah,
they locked him up.
They didn't like him at all.
They don't like that Earth is round stuff. No, we can't go there. But yet,
right?
But it is what the left does.
Yes,
they destroy your reputation when you are effective against them.
Well,
okay? and today they've gone from destroying your reputation to just killing you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in large measure, it's a very destructive way to be.
Sure.
A very destructive ideology.
What do they say about Charlie Kirk now? He was a homophobe. He was a transphobe. He was a this phobe and a that phobe. Oh, so they just killed him. They just killed him. When in fact, if you ever watch Charlie Kirk, which I did all the time, he was none of those things. None of them.
Certainly he was not. And you could watch one video from one campus, and you could figure out that Charlie Kirk wasn't any of that. But look, in a sense, pop culture, and I've said this for a long time, and this is what we're talking about: how popular depictions of people, popular descriptions of events that aren't true. Okay, pop culture is an extraordinarily powerful force, especially in our accelerated culture with social media and all this stuff, because you could just put it out there, and it resonates in a much different way than 30 or 40 years ago, where you really had to beat that drum in the newspapers, on the nightly newscasts. Now you just put it out there, and people run with it as truth. And it's a very effective force, and they've been successful in some of these regards. With a lot of people, they've been successful in unfairly describing a guy like Charlie Kirk or Trump. But people absolutely believe that stuff.
Well, and so these midterms, you could lose it all, and I'll explain that coming up. More Ware and Rima. I want to tell you about my friends over at Evolve Medical Group. They are now accepting insurance for their IV therapies. If you've got chronic fatigue and so much more, they can do these IV therapies that are so popular right now and so effective right now at making a change, a healthful change for you. And now at Evolve Medical Group, they are accepting insurance for this. And they got a brand new location on the south side that's going to be opening probably the beginning of September. So that's not long from now. They're going to be on the south side of San Antonio. They got several locations around town. My favorite is out on Putt Booker because it's by the radio station here, and I can get right over there and get taken care of at Evolve Medical Group. And man, if you have pain or limited movement, not able to do the things that you've always enjoyed doing, well, I recommend you get in touch with Evolve Medical Group, okay, and let them take a look at you, do an evaluation to see if you're a candidate for PRP, the stem cells, hormone replacement, or any of the others. If you're ready to lose some weight, they can help you with that too. Living a healthier lifestyle and being in better condition, that's what it's all about at Evolve Medical Group. And again, they are accepting insurance now for the IV therapy for chronic fatigue and so much more. Find out more when you log on to the website and book your appointment. Mention Trey Ware when you do that. And oh, by the way, they do primary care too at evolvemedgroup.com.
550 KTSA and FM 1071 is proud to support San Antonio-based nonprofit Soldiers Angels during Operation Appreciation. Now through the 4th of July, we'll be collecting care package items to ship to deployed service members around the world. Monetary donations are welcome to cover shipping costs. Get complete details now at KTSA.com. Presented by Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. And in part by Window World, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, here in Texas, and Connecticut.
Well, at Nightly Insurance Group, if you've already enrolled with Medicare, I want you to know that they've got answers for you. If you got a question that comes up or something changes, you got a doctor that retires on you, or maybe new medications, new prescriptions that are being added or whatever, and you have questions about how it fits into your Medicare program, reach out to my friends over at KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com, KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com. That's Knightley with a K, and talk with them about your Medicare stuff. Now, Nick is a Medicare broker from here, independent, by the way, from here. And his team will help you review your coverage, understand what your options are, and get the answers that you need to make smart Medicare decisions for yourself. There's no call centers here, no robots or any of that kind of stuff. Real people that answer the phone, just like the olden days. They'll pick up the phone and talk with you. And whether you're turning 65 or you're already on Medicare, you might be 70, 72 or whatever, Nick is going to help you understand what's going on with Medicare, and his help is absolutely free. They don't charge you for this whatsoever. So you can book your appointment at KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com, KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com. Have a conversation with them and go over where you are now with Medicare if you're already enrolled, or if you're looking at enrolling, get the best advice for free for your Medicare program at KnightlyInsuranceGroup.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Have you noticed getting in and out of the shower isn't quite as safe and easy as it used to be? Hi, Trey Ware here. For many San Antonio homeowners, the bathroom is one of the most important places to improve safety and comfort at home. And that's why New Bath Today has joined with Safe Showers and Bathwise to continue serving local families. Whether you're looking for a safer walk-in shower or an easier-to-use bathroom, New Bath Today can help you stay comfortable and confident in your own home. Right now, qualified buyers can get $0 down, 0% interest, and no payments for 24 months. Plus, New Bath Today will provide a free quote that's good for up to 1 year, so you can lock in today's price and decide when the time is right for you. Get your free quote today at newbathtoday.com. Newbathtoday.com. Get this special deal right now. A free quote that's good for up to 1 year. Lock in today's price and do it when the time is right for you. Newbathtoday.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Cook with ProLift Garage Doors of San Antonio. Don't let a broken garage door hold your car hostage. If your door is stuck, loud, or just plain stubborn, ProLift can help. Visit ProLiftDoors.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
San Antonio police looking for suspects after a home on the east side was shot at overnight. 2 school-aged children were both hit, but they're both expected to survive. The man accused of shooting and killing actor Jonathan Joss last year has another court date, and more decisions expected today from the U.S. Supreme Court. We should learn more about the future of birthright citizenship and boys playing in girls' sports. We'll keep you caught up with everything happening. KTSA News Time, 8:32.
Good morning. This road work on 35 still our heaviest delay this morning. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. On 35 southbound, pack your patience. Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. This is over a 90-minute commute now. 2 right lanes are closed. The backup starts at FM 1103. Nacogdoches already overloaded. 35 southbound before Frostbank Center Drive. That stall now off to the shoulder. And a stall at I-10 eastbound South Presa. Right lane, right shoulder blocked. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique. You're not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP or MADD.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
Try and find some shade today. It'll be hot with hazy sunshine, the high of 93. Breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy, the low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in Hill Country. Then sunny to partly cloudy with a steady breeze Wednesday, the high of 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now it's 80 degrees. The heat index up to 89 at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Nothing new on the rulings yet. We're continuing to watch to see if anything breaks on that. Brandon Gill out of Texas had a comment about birthright citizenship.
If you ask most Americans, do you believe that an illegal alien who traverses across South America, passes through multiple countries, shows up at our southern border, crosses over, and has a child, if that child should be an American citizen just like anybody else in our country, I think most people would say no. If you ask them, do you believe that a Chinese national who flies into the United States for the sole purpose of having a child, if that child should be an American citizen, most people would say no. And I hope that the Supreme Court recognizes that. You know, for most of American history, we've always recognized that there are certain people who don't fall under that category of citizens. For instance, the children of an invading army, the children of a Native American tribe that maintains tribal relationships. The children of diplomats, for instance, have not been considered American citizens or have not been given American citizenship simply because they're born here. And I think that the same logic applies to the children of illegal aliens who never should have been in our country to begin with.
Too many of them have come to the border, and they come right across the border when they're pregnant. They go into the hospitals, they have the baby, and then the whole family is able to migrate into the United States. Or even worse, you have, and I'm going to go to somebody you mentioned earlier, you have China that specifically has sent all these pregnant women here to have the children here. Those children are U.S. citizens. Then they go back to China. They are raised in the communist culture. Then, when they become adults, they are brought back here to live here as communist citizens of the United States. They were raised in communism, they believe in communism, but they are American citizens, and they have all the voting rights of all other American citizens. It's been the biggest thing that China has pulled against the United States in forever. What were you going to say, Jimmy?
I saw a stat earlier on Fox that between 2006 and last year, 5 million babies were born to non-citizen parents. That's a lot of people.
That's a whole lot of people.
Between what year?
2006
2 years,
to 2025.
That's exactly right. So this has been a big deal that they have been pushing for a long time. It's called anchor babies, and people get upset when you say anchor babies, but that's what it is. Well, it anchors the entire family here for a lifetime.
And common sense would tell you that it's a bad policy, and Trump mentioned that, just as an aside, it's rule by common sense is what he said he's trying to do. And common sense will tell you that the reason the 14th Amendment was ratified was to naturalize a formerly enslaved community of people, which is really why it came about. And certainly a reasonable human being can use common sense and look at how this is being abused today. And you'd be hard pressed to come up with a logical argument as to why it should remain. So we'll see what they do.
Let me give you the words of the guy who wrote that amendment. Okay, the one you were just referring to. This is what he wrote. This amendment, which I have offered, is simply declaratory of what I regard as the law of the land already, that every person born within the limits of the United States is subjected to the jurisdiction, is by virtue of natural law and national law, a citizen of the United States. This will not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners, aliens who belong to the families of ambassadors or foreign ministers accredited to the government of the United States. So this was designed specifically for slaves. Yeah. Specifically, and he said it. He wrote that specifically. It includes them. It's to apply to them, but not people who just come in here willy-nilly. Of course not.
I think the word jurisdiction plays a lot. Last time we had this conversation, it was all hinged upon the how you define the word jurisdiction and what that means. So, again, it's kind of like the mail-in ballot thing. Common sense would say, okay, it makes sense what Trump wants to do and what Trump did do when he signed this thing, but are we betting all that much money on common sense with this particular Supreme Court?
Well, of course not. We know that there are two turncoats that are, supposedly were conservatives, and they're not. Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts. So, you can't say that it's not a traditional 6-3 Supreme Court. It's just not.
Certainly not.
You can't depend on it being a 6-3 Supreme Court. They obviously are political creatures and political animals, and yesterday's decision showed that clearly.
And it'll, depending on how this goes, it'll be the same reaction to this. I was just talking a few minutes ago about how that popular narrative was a powerful force because you don't have to say much to get that lodged in people's heads. You're basically giving them what they want to believe, whether it's true or it's not. And that if the birthright citizenship is repealed as a result of this decision, what the popular narrative will be. Trump's a racist. MAGA's a racist. They don't want migrants coming here. They want to determine who's a citizen and who isn't, and they're awful, evil people. That'll be the immediate reaction, is that you guys like you and me are racists because of what we believe in this
Well,
subject.
they ain't getting no chair to call me that. They
I don't
call
give
me
a
that
crap.
all day
Right.
long.
No,
You
I
know?
don't give a
That's
crap.
fine. They're going to do that anyway.
But you know that'll be, if it doesn't go their
sure.
way, that'll be where they go with it.
And I got the attitude.
See, we told you.
I got the attitude of Trump these days where that's concerned, because they're going to do that anyway. You know, these people who comment on our videos and stuff, I don't even watch that anymore. I pay no attention to it anymore, because they're going to criticize and say stupid stuff anyway, no matter what you say. So you know what? I don't care. I'm going to say what's right. I'm going to believe what's right, and I don't care what they say or do.
Oh, I find it immeasurably entertaining when people hate me. I love it. It's fun reading, man.
Well, I mentioned earlier, you had mentioned the name of the people over in China, or you had said there are people over in China who are working the system with the trans here in the country. And specifically, you're talking about Neville Singham, who founded a very popular tech company and sold it for a lot of money, and his wife. And he funds his wife, who is Code Pink. She's the head of Code Pink, and they're the ones who go and they disrupt all these hearings and they do crazy stuff in D.C. and all that. But they're also funding a whole lot of these organizations with hundreds of millions of dollars that then turn around and fund the trans movement in this country that is designed for one thing and one thing only. A lot of people have said, well, what's the story with the trans in America? They are here to destabilize our institutions that make us who we are in this country, so that those institutions, when they go away, they can replace the entirety of our country with communism. He is a communist Chinese guy now. He was an American. He's not Chinese by birth, but he moved to commie China. That's what he believes. That's what he is funding here through the trans movement, a destabilization of our very institutions.
Well, and Todd Blanche is looking into it. The DOJ is looking into this guy, which I think is a good thing. And just to expand on what I was saying, and I've said it for a long time, that the trans issue was created to basically have a new way to demonize people, which is exactly what you're talking about. You want to create division. You want people at each other's throats. The trans, because I don't think it's just him, and I don't think it's just the Chinese. I think a lot of people on that side are using the trans issue for the purposes which you stated. I think communism, yeah, absolutely. But the idea is that we create this whole new minority group where if you don't agree with little kids being transitioned and operated on, if you don't agree with all this stuff, which you ultimately, reasonable people will disagree with it, you can instantly demonize somebody. You can instantly give all these other people a reason to hate your guts. You're transphobic. So my plea has always been, whatever you do, don't believe it has anything to do with trans rights actually, or gender, any of that stuff. It has nothing to do with any of that.
Let me give you an example, a prime example of that. There's an organization that's been around for 135 years. It's called the Daughters of American Revolution. They just had their 135th Continental Congress. There was a resolution introduced to the Daughters of American Revolution. Now, these are women, females, who can legitimately show and document their ancestry was part of a patriot who was in the American Revolution. That's why they're
it's
called
like the Alamo here and the descendants of the Alamo.
Daughters of the American Revolution. So now they introduced a resolution that would be only females. Well, the resolution lost. And so the organization is now to include, if you consider yourself a female, you can now be in the Daughters of the American Revolution, okay? So you don't have to be a female of direct descent from a patriot of the American Revolution anymore. Now they have trans daughters of the American Revolution. Yes, it does sound stupid, doesn't it? You're laughing, but it does sound stupid.
It's a very effective weapon.
But let me show you how this destabilizes institutions such as the Daughters of the American Revolution. Now they're being threatened with dissolution. Why? Because there are those who are actual females who still want to be a daughter of the American Revolution, but now people are starting to withhold their donorship money. It takes donorship money to run these organizations because why? It's not the Daughters of the American Revolution anymore.
Right.
So people like, and I don't know if he's connected with this at all, if Singham had anything to do with this at all, so I'm not going to lay that around his neck. I'm just saying people like him. That's how they use the trans in America to destabilize our institutions. You bring down the Daughters of the American Revolution, and you're bringing down an organization that teaches the truth about the American Revolution. That is their job. That's what they do. Like you talk about the Daughters of the Alamo.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're teaching the truth about the American Revolution. Well, we can't have that if you're a Chinese communist or anything else that wants to destroy this country. The bottom line is all these great institutions have to be brought down and left in rubble so that they can build this country back.
And the operative word is use. Okay, they're using a community that never really existed before, and I don't believe actually, it's not actually a community, it's not actually a minority group, the trans, whatever, but they are being used to do this, to accomplish exactly what you're saying. The trans thing has become a weird kind of litmus test as far as these people, as to whether or not you should be hated or beloved is where you are on that issue, which is a nonsensical issue. But you're right. It's about tearing down the old institutions, but while simultaneously telling people that you're fighting for their community, which is a bunch of bullcrap.
Well, that's how they get them in. That's how they rang them in. And that's how they're able to get them to do things such as allegedly kill the greatest conservative thought leader of our time.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely.
Shot him in the neck. Well,
it makes any violence justifiable. So you have to simultaneously come up with these ideological litmus tests that people are always going to fail, while simultaneously jacking up the violent quotient because you want people to get killed. You want that kind of division and hatred and bile or whatever you want to call it.
They found a tranny lover to allegedly kill the greatest conservative thought leader of our time, Charlie Kirk. Shot him in the neck. And so that's what we have, and that's what they're doing while destroying these institutions like the Daughter of the American Republic of the American Revolution.
We've also had trans people and trans-supporting people do other shoot-em-ups and go after schools and synagogues.
The biggest one was up in Nashville, where she walked in and shot up the school up there, and then they wouldn't release the manifesto because they know exactly what's going on. The play. Tell you about my friends over at Quarter Moon. Quarter Moon is ready to keep you cool and safe all summer long. Have them come out and inspect your AC unit. And I mean, this is not a quick look-see at it. This is a very thorough inspection of your AC unit. They check the lines. They clean out everything really well. They flush the lines out. They make sure the compressor outside and the unit inside is working optimally. They check all the electronics to make sure the capacitor is ready and all that kind of stuff. They go through all those electronic checks. Then they test the coolant itself to make sure it's pressurized and up to what it's supposed to be at. So much more. And they do this at Quarter Moon. They've been doing it now for 43 years, longer than any other AC company around here. They're also great with plumbing. So if you ever have a problem, whether it's plumbing or AC, they can send somebody out right away with a rapid response team to get to you, get your AC back on or stop the leak or whatever needs to be done. But you can really avoid a lot of that by doing preventative maintenance and having them come out and check your AC system right now. Mid-90s today, and it only goes up from here, guys. So get in touch with my friends over at Quarter Moon for years. For over 35 years, I've been saying right here on KTSA, you got a problem, just call Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899. Mostly sunny mid-90s today, 78 now, KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay continues to be on 35 northeast side of town. This report sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance. This roadwork southbound 35 causing heavy delays. Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. It's about 45 minutes. 2 right lanes are closed, slow from Schwab Road. I-10 eastbound at South Presa Street. That stall is blocking the right lane and right shoulder. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA builds better athletes, better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
South Texas diesel owners, when your truck's down, downtime costs money. Trust the diesel experts at DPFR. DPFR, diesel problems fixed right. Learn more at dpfrsa.com or call 726-888-7990.
Well, if you're like most investors, you're probably a bit confused on what to do with your investment portfolio right now. There's been a lot of volatility. We've seen a big move in interest rates, a war, new technology being introduced, and rising inflation. Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When I talk to listeners like you, the biggest issue I see when reviewing their portfolio is that there is no strategy or game plan. Without a game plan, it makes achieving your financial goals very difficult. It's probably time to schedule a free financial checkup with me. I'll personally analyze your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return. There will not be a high-pressured sales pitch at this meeting, just a clear, concise conversation about your specific financial situation. We actively manage assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. Give us a call at 210-526-0057 or visit us online at creatingricherlives.com.
Cap Trust Financial Advisors is an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940 and does not render legal advice.
You know, I didn't realize how much I was missing out of life. Conversations with Nancy, my wife, and all my granddaughter's conversations too. Well, if you're turning up the TV or missing out on life as well, I've been there. Do what I did. Go see Dr. Sally at Here in Texas.
I'm Dr. Sally. We're proud to serve veterans and now accept TRICARE for active duty, retired military, and their families.
At Here in Texas, they don't just sell hearing aids. They listen to you. They test you. They explain, and then they come up with a solution that works for you. And now you can feel connected like I do.
Every day you wait is another moment missed, another memory you can't fully hear. We offer advanced diagnostics, personalized treatment, flexible financing, and now expanded coverage through TRICARE to make better hearing possible for everyone.
You'll hardly be able to get the big smile off your face, so call them today. 830-360-2000 or visit hereintx.com.
Here in Texas, HEAR. We listen so you can hear.
Texas is growing, and no matter where you are, Tanks a Lot in Bernie installs Pioneer water tanks for large-scale storage. Keep your water clean and safe for drinking, agriculture, fire suppression, or development. Online at tanksalotTX.com.
Uncover the root of your health problems and improve your life. I'm Dr. Torres with the Institute for Functional Health. Schedule your Discovery Day for advanced testing and a personalized plan. Call 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres with the Institute for Functional Health. 210-468-1891.
Get the latest local news, weather, and traffic online at KTSA.com. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
All right, it's 8:51 now at KTSA. We are Ware and Rima.
I'm going to talk about the New Mexico governor here, but we were just watching John Fetterman live on Fox talking about Chevalier and just what a
wonderful human being.
It is really shocking that, this has happened in America.
Well, let's grab a couple of his comments and see.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Here's John Fetterman.
Their motivation, why they just set a bunch of Jews on fire.
Well, so we're watching Colorado too, and then later this summer we're going to watch Michigan, where there's a Senate race there that could
Michigan too, another
be a
great
bit of a
point.
tremor. That's right. Also Maine. We'll double back on that some other day. Listen.
Pete Hustle.
That's right, as you call him, Graham Platt.
No, he called himself that.
On the National Mall right now, you've got the Great American State Fair, but these states have opted out. Illinois, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington State, and North Carolina. Now, in Pennsylvania, you got together with Dave McCormick, your Republican senator, colleague there in the Keystone State, and you said, we'll figure this out. Now, what the states were saying is that the organization did not give them enough time to go ahead and set up a booth, and they couldn't raise the money to get it done. You made it happen. What's the difference?
Well, I mean, just coincidentally, my good friend Senator McCormick just texted me a couple pictures of how great it's looking down there too. And now I would like to establish that the majority of the credit deserves with Senator McCormick now too. He's the guy that can really just put things in. Bring things to get together.
Okay, let's bring it back here. What he's talking about is something I brought up earlier in the show, that all these blue states did not buy a booth and go to the Great American Fair.
They're not participating because you're racist and repressive, and we don't want to be embarrassed or live in shame by having a booth there. No, it's just bad behavior. I was reading about Lujan Grisham, governor of New Mexico, and she wants over $1 billion in reparations for the Drug Enforcement Agency flooding her state with fentanyl in the fight against fentanyl. So, what is it, $1.6 billion or something like that?
Yeah.
She wants because people have to go into treatment.
That's what it was.
And people, all the services they now have to provide and medical stuff. And I call bullcrap. Donald Trump basically halted the flow of fentanyl into this country by closing up that border and blowing up these boats that are trying to transport the stuff and going after these people. I mean, I don't know if you agree with her or not.
Well, no. Let me put it this way: I do not agree with the $1.5 billion. I think that's insane. Because if you did that, you'd have to do that all across America.
Right.
I do believe that the previous administration did flood this country with fentanyl, and this started in 2023 through 2025. So it had nothing to do with the Trump administration. This was Obama.
I failed to mention the timeline.
Yes.
She's blaming Trump, and she's demanding from Trump this stuff. But look at the timeline when that fentanyl was flowing into New Mexico and when the DEA, whatever. And she had gone to the Biden administration, I think, originally for some help, and they didn't, turned her away. So you want to ask yourself why there's a fentanyl crisis in this country at all. I'm sorry, you got to go back to that open border and Joe Biden. That's exactly where it came
was
from.
a fentanyl crisis because we don't have it now.
Yes,
we have it under control, and whatever makes it across the border, we are blowing up the boats that would bring it there. So it has largely been brought back. But it was the previous administration killing its own citizens with fentanyl here.
It's still happening. My cousin's hosting a family up in Dallas right now. Their 16-year-old died, took a pill, and it was fentanyl.
Oh, yeah?
It's still out there. Yeah, he didn't know what it was.
Yeah, but Jimmy, I mean, the numbers have been greatly reduced from where they were during the Obama
as far as new
years,
fentanyl coming in.
Yeah, I just want people to know it's still out there.
You're right.
Talk to your kids about don't take any pills. Anything.
You're absolutely right.
It's really insidious too, because they would make the prescription pills or try to make them look like genuine prescription pills. They would even age the pills to make them look like they're an older prescription. I mean, it was really insidious.
Oh, what made it worse was when they made it look like candy.
Well,
so
candy
kids
for the
would
kids.
grab a handful of candy and take it and die, which is what they were doing. But look, when you open the border and when you encourage these guys in China and Mexico to work together to create the stuff and bring it in here, our government was complicit. But that was during the Biden years, not the Trump years.
I concur. Trump has largely shut that down, and good on him, because back, as he used to say, you and I used to talk about the numbers of fentanyl deaths on an annual basis since that border was open. If anything else were killing that many Americans, I mean, we have an example in COVID. If anything else were killing that many Americans on a daily basis, it would be a national crisis. And during the Biden administration, if you remember correctly, they didn't want to talk about it. They did not want to talk about fentanyl. They really didn't.
Well, they didn't care.
They didn't care.
I mean,
they had something to accomplish.
Well, that's right, because they were a part of it.
Well,
they were on the inside, just like with the cartels bringing people here.
Well, and I was going to take it back to China, and that China would provide the raw materials for the cartels to produce this stuff in these labs that were extraordinarily expensive to build, but the yield was so great. And they were pumping that crap into this country every single day.
And the heads of that administration, from the Biden crime family all the way up, the heads of that administration were all up into China. How do you explain that China flew a surveillance balloon all the way across the United States of America, and it was never, ever interdicted until it got out over water and got all the pictures that it wanted and needed?
Right.
How do you explain that?
That was embarrassing.
How do you explain that?
Well, obviously you were in bed with the Chinese.
Of course. All right, another Babylon Bee headline that just came out just a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, yeah?
The National Weather Service announces everybody is going to die tonight, or absolutely nothing is going to happen. One of the two. More Ware and Rima coming up, KTSA.
Hi, this is Bob Webster from my friends over at Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. It's just quality is such a hard thing to find in the day's world. I mean, there are so many roofers around that, they're here one day, gone the next. Putting on those old shingle roofs that wear out after a few years or after the first hailstorm. Why not get the last roof you will ever put on your home? A beautiful roof from Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. I mean, the gap in price between metal and shingles has come way down. Southwest Metal Roofing System roofs are an amazing value, extremely well priced, best guarantee in the industry. They're going to save you money on your energy bill every month because they're so energy efficient. Plus, most homeowners insurance companies give you a discount because they know they're never going to have to replace that roof. Plus, it's a darn good looking roof. Lots of choices of color, lots of choices of looks, but all with the same great quality. Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, 822-6868 is the number. Give them a call for the best roof in the industry.
Dave Ramsey here, and I love my Connecticut water softener. Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, complete with a color fixture to match your kitchen. That means cleaner, better tasting water for coffee, cooking, ice, and everyday drinking. The Connecticut K5 drinking water station removes up to 99% of many contaminants and can be customized for your home. So instead of buying bottled water or wondering what's really coming out of your tap, you get cleaner, great tasting water right where you use it most. A Connecticut runs on energy from your water flow, which means no electricity, no timer, and no computer that can break. With its twin tank system, you get soft water 24/7. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country for a free water test at 210-656-PURE. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 9 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. A shooting on the east side is leaving 2 children in the hospital, and there's no word on suspects. San Antonio police say a home on Comanche Sunrise on the east side was shot at early this morning, but little else is known. The kids were hit while sleeping, and a relative called 911 for help after she woke up to gunfire. Investigators say the house was hit from behind, bullet holes found in the back fence, but they don't know the motive. We have more on the story at KTSA.com. The next court appearance for the man accused of killing actor Jonathan Joss last year is scheduled for September 17th.
Sigfredo Alvarez was in a Bexar County courtroom Monday morning. Prosecutors and defense attorneys both told the judge that they still have a lot of work to do before the trial. Alvarez is accused of shooting and killing Joss last June on Dorsey Drive at the site where Josh's home burned down the previous January. Police say Joss was at the scene to check his mail when the two men had an argument, which led to the shooting. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
Lots of attention on the U.S. Supreme Court today. After several decisions on Monday, the court's now set to rule on 2 cases with sweeping implications: birthright citizenship and bans on so-called transgender athletes. There is a challenge to President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship to children with at least one parent being a U.S. citizen or at least one having permanent legal status. The court's also considering whether states can ban so-called transgender athletes from competing in girls' and women's school sports. Well, the Michael Jackson movie is breaking another record. Michael is now the highest-grossing biopic of all time. It made $977 million worldwide, and that surpasses the film Oppenheimer, which raked in $975 million around the world. Michael opened up in April, earning $217 million globally. KTSA News Time coming up on 9:02.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay continues to be on 35 due to road work. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Traveling through the Selma area, pack your patience. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. It's going to take you about 55 minutes to get through. 2 right lanes are closed. Delays start at Schwab Road. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP, or online, madd.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hazy and hot today with the high of 93. Breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy. The low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in the Hill Country. Sunny to partly cloudy. Hot on Wednesday, but a steady breeze. The high of 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
81 degrees, the real feel up to 92 at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Oh, so are we getting the ruling now on the transgender thing? We're waiting. Are we getting it now? Is it coming down? We're checking now. What did you call me? What did you call me, Elaine?
A tallow wearing Mr.
Tallow, because you put tallow on your face.
I'll explain in a second. Here we go with the ruling on the transgender sports stuff.
Of splits, concurrences, and dissents, but nearly every justice is signed on to concurring at least in part. We'll have to read the different concurrences and dissents here, but all of them support this decision at least in part. From the majority opinion, it says sports are highly competitive and generally zero-sum. At almost every turn, someone wins and someone loses. Every athlete who makes a team takes a roster spot from another athlete, and every player who earns playing time reduces the playing time of a teammate. Every player who makes the starting lineup sidelines another who remains on the bench. They go on to say this, like every student who earns an athletic scholarship takes that opportunity away from another student, and so on. Women and girls who play sports care deeply about all of these things. They obsess about them. They spend extraordinary time and effort in the heat and in the cold to work out early in the morning and late at night to get a little faster, a little stronger, jump a little higher, shoot a little better, and it goes on from there. But essentially says they have to savor these athletic accomplishments and cherish them. And what these states have done here, they say they should be allowed to have these life-changing opportunities on an equal playing field without fear of physical injury from biological males or being forced to compete against biological males. They say consistent with Title IX, which we know was created to protect women's sports opportunities, and the Equal Protection Clause, we hold that the states may maintain women's and girls' sports for biological females. So big wins as we expected here for West Virginia and Idaho, and a recognition that there are differences in sports, and when you give a slot to someone else, it costs someone else. And in this case,
okay, that's the entire point right there. Is if they would have found the other way, and we can't predict this Supreme Court anymore for reasons that we've talked about. If they would have gone the other way, it would erase Title IX. Title IX would be then completely neutered and defunct, and the Supreme Court cannot erase Title IX. They simply cannot do that because Title IX was passed by Congress, signed by the president, and it has withstood challenges in the courts before.
And they said it would not withstand additional scrutiny.
That's it.
So you can't, why? Because it makes sense.
Well, of course.
It would have also ruined a full semester of my college because I had to study. I got assigned to study Title IX for a full semester, and I read the whole damn thing in the library, that big-ass book. And so I did well, but I would have been very upset if I didn't get Title IX anymore.
Title IX establishes that women can have women's sports, which is an equal playing field for people who don't understand it, and guys cannot come over and play in that playing field, or else it just destroys Title IX.
Because it is observably true that we have physical differences. The genders have physical differences. That's why a lot of these dudes become trans so they can compete against women physically that they know they can beat. When they compete against other dudes, they're mediocre or losers at best. I mean, it's cheating.
Well, of course it's cheating. Of course it's cheating.
It's also deeply hypocritical that the very same people who pride themselves on bringing us the feminist movement just crapped all over women's rights with this one.
And if you ask some of these people, should we, as I brought up earlier today, and I did that on purpose, should we have peeping Tom rules? Oh, absolutely we should have peeping Tom. Why? Why would you have a peeping Tom law? What is the difference between a dude looking through your window at you being naked and a dude looking at you being naked in a gym locker room? There is no difference whatsoever. It is the exact same thing. So if you approve of all this, you're erasing the peeping Tom laws as they are on the books. It's the same thing. You would be erasing Title IX totally and completely. There'd be no difference between boys and girls, and we know that there are. As I've said, you just said a minute ago, I've said for years that these guys suck at men's sports. That's why they transfer over to girls' sports. Sure. That's why they do it.
The other thing it erases is the entire feminist movement going all the way back to the suffragettes. I mean, it really does. I mean, it again, you're arguing. I've said all along, you're arguing for the rights of men over women, which is exactly what it was about. Apart from sort of the commie plot of creating division and tearing down the institutions.
So we have these laws here in the state of Texas, and now that they are being strengthened and upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States. That's a good thing. That's a good ruling there. Good job on the Supreme Court. Yesterday was not a good day. So let's talk about this before they come down with another ruling. What's the greatest gift on America's 250th birthday that America has given to the world?
That America has given to the world?
The greatest gift that America has given to the world. Any ideas?
Are we going to go around the horn?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
The idea of individual rights and freedoms, in my opinion.
Okay.
That and chips and salsa.
That's a good one. Both of those are good.
I said freedom. I say freedom.
Okay, all right, freedom.
Hold on, I'm still thinking.
Jimmy's going to say gambling.
Gambling.
Because that didn't exist before
I
us.
like the gambling part. Vegas.
Chicken wings.
Sean's on food.
Well,
what do you say, Christian? Oh, Christian's doing something else.
Okay. This one's for you, Trey.
Uh-huh.
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
Without America, you wouldn't have had Elvis Presley.
Or
Think
rock
about
and roll
that.
in general.
Thank you, Jimmy. That's good.
Well, it was either that or Michael Jackson, but Michael's...
You guys know that everything that you brought up is in this poll. CBS did a poll.
What's the top one?
El numero uno is democracy. Democracy. So saying freedom and all of that is absolutely true. Choosing your representatives is absolutely true. That's the number one say that the CBS poll said. But
I take it back. Taylor Swift.
Oh, God.
American food. American food. In that list, hot dogs, apple pie, pizza, because our pizza's not Italian pizza. It's different.
Right.
And the hamburger. Okay? Hamburger did not come from Hamburg. That's
what we've experienced in the last 2 or 3 weeks of FIFA. They love hot sauce.
Right.
They love refills.
Right.
They're like fast food joints.
Right.
Hamburgers, yeah.
So number one in food is the hamburger. No, and they call it a ground beef sandwich in some places. All right. Number two, and that came about in New Haven, Connecticut in 1900.
Yeah, the place, they don't serve ketchup at that. You know that restaurant? They will not serve ketchup to anyone. They only serve mustard at the original hamburger location in New Haven.
Well, there you go.
You have to smuggle in your own ketchup packets.
What about for French fries?
I don't think they serve it. I really don't. They are
and those are not from
anti-ketchup.
France, by the way.
No, they're not.
The French fry?
They're not actually French.
That's right.
Freedom fries, didn't we call them that?
We did that. We did
Yeah.
when the French were going against us. So so what else did we give to the world? The light bulb was listed as the greatest innovation we gave to the world.
Tommy Edison.
That's exactly right.
Air conditioning?
1879. Yeah, the first air-conditioned building in America was right here.
Temple
That's a bad one.
No,
because
actually,
France,
Robert E. Lee
people are-
Hotel downtown.
In France, they're overheating and dying.
Oh, they're
'Cause
blaming
don't-
us for that.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
blaming us for that.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying we have all the air conditioners and we put all that crap in the air, so we're making their temperatures
Of
go up.
course.
Sorry, Al Gore.
Yeah.
So what else made the list?
Okay. Number two was the internet. Number three were automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we're pretty kick-ass.
That's right. Telephone. Okay. Airplane.
That's American.
All right. That's right. All this stuff was purely American. Henry Ford, credited with inventing the first ever mass-produced car in 1908.
Industrial Revolution and mass production. We
Absolutely.
did that
Mass production
first.
in and of itself, yeah.
Carl Benz recognizes the inventor of the first true automobile in 1886 over in Germany, but we did the first mass producing of it.
Did we invent Legos?
That's a good question. I don't know if we did or not.
Because I know a lot of adults don't like them because they step on them.
Man, I got a brother-in-law who loves them. He absolutely loves them. Scottish-born inventor Alexander Graham Bell invented the first ever phone call at his laboratory in Boston in 1876. The Wright brothers in North Carolina in 1903. What was the name of their airplane? Come on, everybody. Come on,
Spirit? No, that's not the Spirit of St. Louis.
Come on,
No,
that was
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh. The first airplane was the Kitty Hawk.
Oh, the Kitty Hawk.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, God.
Kitty
I feel
Hawk.
stupid.
We don't get the little Trivial Pursuit triangle on that one, Sean. We missed that one.
And going back to the hamburger for a minute, people thought it comes from the German city of Hamburg, but the Library of Congress recognizes Danish immigrant Louis Lassen. Or is this boring, everybody? Are you all bored by this?
No.
As the inventor of the hamburger sandwich in New Haven, Connecticut in 1900. Number two was barbecue. That's number two on the food list.
Nice.
Then apple pie was third at 19%.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin,
my
let's
God.
see. I'm looking. Let me see.
Is my
No.
Ralphus on there? Ralph Miller?
No, he's not on here either. I'm so sorry, Elaine. You are striking out.
What about Moonshine?
Moonshine is not on here.
Well,
what kind of moonshine you talk about?
Yeah.
Not the dog, but something to imbibe.
Hey, Trey, that New Haven hamburger place, they serve it between white toast. They don't have buns.
Let's go. Let's go.
I know where we can go.
What?
In Greenville, Ohio. Made Rights. Have you guys ever heard of them?
Is that the pickle place?
No.
No, it's Made Rights. It's like crumbled up hamburger with mustard and little onions.
Okay,
And
I'm in.
I'm just going to go to Burger Boy.
Yeah.
Let's go to Greenville, Ohio, guys.
The tube steak. That's for you. This is for you.
The tube steak? That made the list?
Do you know what the tube steak is?
What the tube steak?
It's hamburger, isn't it?
No.
It's a long steak. It's like a...
Not according to this. No. It's hot dog sandwich.
Oh,
hot dog sandwich.
Oh, they were tricky on that one.
They called it a tube steak back then.
Okay.
And it is number 4 on the list of truly American food that America gave to the world. But I'm going to go with what Jimmy said. Elvis Presley was the greatest gift we gave to the entire world. You know, when you think about what that boy from Tupelo, Mississippi did to the music world and the entertainment world, it's never been matched before or since. It just simply has not. He brought it all.
Well, I mean, he was also hanging out with a bunch of black dudes who were like doing the rock and roll thing and kind of invented it.
Was he ever, man?
You know? So I would say rock and roll is like one of the greatest things we gave the world.
Yeah.
You know, definitely rock and roll. And the first rockster, and this has been verified by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and several other rock historians, was not Elvis. The first rock and roller was Bill Haley.
Oh, yeah, Bill Haley. In the comments, yeah, man.
What about hip hop?
What about
Can we give that back?
hip hop? Yeah. Really? Well, then you could say rap.
I would. Well, speaking of rap, I would say Saran wrap is something that probably came from America. That's
I don't know.
That's cool.
Country music's America.
Country music
I
is
would
America.
say it is. You know, although that's nothing but rhythm and blues and gospel put together. That's where they came up. That's how they came up with country music.
Country music is real life put into song.
Well, now 3 chords in the truth, Mr.
Three
Rima.
chords in the truth.
Now I'm trying to flip it. What did the world give us that we think is great?
Not a dang thing.
That's what I was thinking.
We got COVID from them.
We got COVID. We got hair mousse.
Perfume.
Escargot.
Bottled water.
Bottled water.
Perrier.
In the French mountains.
Did you guys know? I guess y'all know all this stuff, but how big the water bottle thing is right now?
Oh, yeah.
I had to go with Nancy to the store the other day because she was going on a business trip, and she had to get a new water bottle because she left hers in the last place she was
When
at.
you're saying water bottle, are you saying the plastic ones like we have here, or just
No. I'm talking about the designer ones. They come in all shapes and sizes.
You're giving up the plastic
Designer bottled water? I haven't seen that.
I'm not kidding you. But I'm just talking about the bottles.
Oh, just in general.
And they had 3 aisles. 3 aisles in Walmart covered with these things. 3 aisles in
And
Walmart.
the majority of them are glass bottles. They're not
well,
plastic.
not these. We were looking at plastic and all that kind of stuff.
This is people just buying bottled water, right?
No, dude.
No.
The kids, middle school and high school, they all have the big jug of water.
Like
that
this
they
thing. Like this
like
thing.
a travel mug.
Yeah.
I'm not hip.
but check it out. Did y'all know you accessorize these things too?
Yeah, there's decorations. There's girls that do it on the side. For, friends and parties.
They had a whole section in Walmart of the accessorization of your water. So you buy the water bottle, and then you buy all these little trinkets. They look like, what are those bracelets that women wear that have the little dangly things on?
Friendship bracelets or friendship bracelets?
You know, like the ones with the little
like
dangly charms. Yeah.
Charm bracelets.
Thank you, charm. That's what I was looking for. You buy your water bottle, and you buy charms and stuff to hang on your water
it's
bottle.
It's like what they do with the Crocs. When you get the little things that you put in the Crocs, right?
You do have stuff?
I don't
you know about that?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Crocs.
No, they're little things. No, I mean, you get little things that you put in the holes in your Crocs. They're the same thing that you're describing.
Okay, I believe you. I just didn't. I don't know anything about that. But
must we accessorize everything?
I guess so. Well, it's kind of like your phone holder.
Yeah, everything's got to be a personal expression of you.
Exactly right. Well, so I didn't know that about water bottles till 2 days ago when she and I went to the store and she had to get a new one. I'm like, what is going on here? She said it's a whole thing, man.
It's a subculture, man.
It is a totally and your status in life is reflected through your water bottle and how you accessorize
What about
it.
what's in it?
You know, I brought that up when we were shopping.
Oh, right.
Because one of the bottles.
Don't tell nobody.
Hey, check this out. One of the bottles says, "Is it wine or water?"
That's what get all those the parents when they go to the soccer matches in the morning.
Right.
It's not always coffee.
They're day drinking is what it is. River City Oral Surgery, Dr. Mark Havicorn, his great team is ready to help you get these full mouth dental implants that will not only look great but perform for you as well. You see, full mouth dental implants is not just for beauty. Although they are beautiful, they will make you look so good, and your confidence level is going to go up because you don't have to hide your dirty, dingy old teeth anymore if that's what you got. Those yellow things that, you can get rid of all that and have nice, white, shiny, pearly teeth. Going to look great. So that's one side. But the other side is if you have missing and broken teeth, you're not chewing well. And have you noticed that you're choking every once in a while, or it's a little bit more difficult to get food down? Okay, well, it doesn't have to be that way because you can get full mouth dental implants from River City Oral Surgery. No games, no gimmicks, no upselling. They don't do any of that stuff. The others do. The others will try to upsell you all day long. That's not what they do at River City Oral Surgery. One price that's published online for everybody to see. Clear upfront pricing on their website, rivercityoms.com. Check them out. They got a great staff over there. Each phase is headed up by a specialist in that phase. So you're going to get the best care. You're going to get beautiful dental implants, and your life is going to be improved with our friends at River City Oral Surgery. rivercityoms.com. Mostly sunny mid-90s today. Right now, 79 KTSA.
Good morning. Got a couple of new trouble spots. I-10 on the frontage road eastbound at Medical, northwest side. That stall has the right turn only lane blocked. 21 northbound Boulevardy Road, that's a stalled 18-wheeler. Looks like they just moved that off to the shoulder. Our heaviest delay continues to be road work on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. It's a 45-minute commute. 2 right lanes closed. It's got you slow from Schwab Road. Nacogdoches was a pretty good alternate, but that's now overloaded. So what you can do is exit at FM 1103 and then head south to FM 78 Pat Booker Road in order to get back on to 35 southbound. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Local roots, national focus, global perspective. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. Plus, get a free base with select mattress purchases. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Just one simple step can help prevent gun deaths. During Gun Violence Awareness Month, experts say safe firearm storage, keeping guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition, can save lives. Dr. Catherine Hoops with the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions says it's a critical step.
Safe storage reduces the risk of suicide and unintentional shootings, protecting children and families, and preventing tragedies before they happen.
Learn more at everyguneverytime.org.
This year, we celebrate America. And at Precision Windows and Doors, we think that calls for more than just fireworks. It calls for taking pride in your place you come home to every day. I'm Eddie, the window guy with Precision Windows and Doors. We're local, family-owned, and proud to help you improve your home with energy-efficient windows, hardy siding, and custom patio covers. As America celebrates 250 years, we're celebrating you, the homeowner, who keeps building, improving, and investing in your piece of the American dream. For a limited time, ask about our America 250 celebration specials and discounts. You also may qualify for senior and military savings, plus flexible financing options. No pushy sales crew, no pricing games, just honest answers, quality windows, siding, and doors. Make your home cooler, brighter, stronger, and more beautiful for years ahead. Call me, Eddie, the window guy with Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588, or visit precisionwindowssa.com. Let's brighten up your home together.
It's just as friendly and a little cooler. Introducing nonstop flights to Toronto with Air Canada from San Antonio International Airport. See fares and start booking at aircanada.com.
Summer is the perfect time to refresh your home with beautiful new floors from Pride Floors. From luxury European oak to waterproof vinyl plank, all backed by a lifetime labor warranty. Visit our showroom today or visit our website at pridefloors.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results.
Hey there, it's Lars, celebrating our nation's 250th on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
And it's 9:24 with Ware and Rima, KTSA.
We're watching. We're still waiting on the Supreme Court, the second decision on birthright citizenship. We already heard about transgender stuff and boys competing in girls' sports. The block or this ban at the state level was upheld, so that's a good thing. We're still waiting to hear about this next one. But we are also in the midst of our week of celebrating our 250th birthday. And you had pointed out that a lot of blue states, as far as the World Fair or the American Fair, did not choose to provide some cultural examples of their state or a booth for the big fair. I'm so tired of this idea that you can't just enjoy this without always pointing out the negative thing. Barack Obama did it again where he brought up George Washington. And I think sometimes we get confused in thinking that these two stories are separate. They're intertwined, right? Which is why it's possible for me to be a great admirer of George Washington and also acknowledge he was a slaveholder. Whenever I hear guys like that running their mouths about slaves, first off, his family, as I understand it, his descendants were also slave owners, as most people were. But when you want to talk about slavery in America, okay, look at that open border. Look at how many people were sold into slavery in this country today in the here and now. We have active slavery going on right now. In just about, all around the world, but especially here with that open border and people coming over and they accrue these huge debts. As you know, as you and I have talked about, you don't get across that border without cartel sponsorship. And once you are beholden to the cartels, you are living like a slave. They've enslaved women for the sex trade. They've enslaved children for the same thing. Guys like Obama don't give a crap about current day slavery at all. But just, don't feel too good about July 4th because George Washington had slaves. I'm so sick of it.
I don't want to hear anything from Barack Obama until he says one thing, just one, about the black-on-black genocide that's happening in his hometown.
Right, he didn't give a crap about that.
Every day, blacks are killing blacks in Chicago. That is his hometown. So he doesn't deserve one bit of my attention until he starts addressing a real genocide that's happening in this country. What are they doing? They're doing the campaign finance law thing? Is that what it is? Okay. Well, we can get to it during the news.
Well,
that's fine.
But again,
right now, okay. All right, go ahead, Jimmy.
Justice Kavanaugh is a traditional 6-3, some of the ideological splits you would expect to see here. And he says those limits amount to essentially limiting speech, and it's unconstitutional so that the parties can freely spend with candidates. They say this, it allows all political parties, including the DNC and RC, this is not benefiting a particular party, and the respected Senate and House campaign committees, as well as other parties and party committees, to participate more freely and compete more fully in the political process.
Well, it's another win for conservatives. So another win for conservatives and freedom because you can spend what you want on a campaign.
Good. Well, it's a campaign. Why not? That's a freedom of expression. So good on that. The big one, obviously, we're waiting on, though, is birthright citizenship because, as we've already talked today, that kind cuts at the heart of what it even means to be an American citizen. Plus, that system's been abused. I just mentioned active slavery, modern-day slavery with these folks that come over the line into this country. And I think that plays into it as well.
One more thing about Obama, he cannot say anything about this country unless it's negative. He has to.
He can't.
He can never just praise and say, my God, look what we did in 250 years. Look what we've done. He can't even do that. He still has to, every time he mentions America, to keep himself from throwing up, he's got to say, but by the way, remember, you suck.
He does. He's got to offer it up in equal measure. But again, if you care about slavery, why wouldn't you want something done about modern-day slavery? If he was the de facto president for 4 years, how many people were enslaved while Joe Biden was in the Oval Office?
Or as I mentioned, too, on top of what you're saying is absolutely right, modern-day genocide of black people by black people.
Right.
Hey, at Amity Bank, they've got a brand-new branch over there at Bitters and 281. They're your go-to bank for small business, and I can tell you that personally. For over 15 years, Nancy and I have been banking with Amity Bank, and we do that with our personal finances, but we also do that with businesses that we have. And I've been telling you this year, I've been opening up we got some new businesses, and so we had to get some new accounts. And we looked at what Amity had to offer, and the array of small business accounts is mind-blowing. This Beyond Business account fit us perfectly because we needed certain services. We needed our account to do certain things and offer certain services, right? But we didn't want to spend the money that the big boys have to spend because we ain't big boys in business. It's just me and her. And so, you know what? Amity's got that. So we're getting the services that the big boys get out of a bank. And if you're in business, you know all the services and all that kind of stuff that you need. You need checks written at a specific time, deposits made, direct deposits made, all those kind of things, either for employees or for those of us who have contract employees and all those kind of things. You need bills that got to be paid at a certain time, in a certain way. You need commissions got to be done in a certain way. All those kind of things. And Amity's Beyond Business account does that without hitting you with the huge amount of fees that comes when you got a big, big business. I love these folks. They're perfect for small business. Your small business family bank is Amity NA, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mr. W Fireworks join Ware and Rima to celebrate America 250. Thursday, July 2nd from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. in the Alamo Lounge. Free breakfast and coffee from PJ's Coffee House. Plus live music from the Rick Rice Band and more. It's also your chance to support the troops with your donations to Operation Appreciation. Celebrating America 250. Thursday, July 2nd from 7 till 9 with Ware and Rima in the Alamo Lounge on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
I didn't realize how much I was missing out of life. Conversations with Nancy, my wife, and all my granddaughter's conversations too. Well, if you're turning up the TV or missing out on life as well, I've been there. Do what I did. Go see Dr. Sally at Here in Texas.
I'm Dr. Sally. We're proud to serve veterans and now accept TRICARE for active duty, retired military, and their families.
At Here in Texas, they don't just sell hearing aids. They listen to you. They test you. They explain, and then they come up with a solution that works for you. And now you can feel connected like I do.
Every day you wait is another moment missed, another memory you can't fully hear. We offer advanced diagnostics, personalized treatment, flexible financing, and now expanded coverage through TRICARE to make better hearing possible for everyone.
You'll hardly be able to get the big smile off your face, so call them today. 830-360-2000 or visit hereintx.com.
Here in Texas, HEAR. We listen so you can hear.
Garage door stuck? Cable snapped? Spring broken? That door's not fixing itself. Precision Garage Door of San Antonio offers same-day repairs, weekends included. Live operators answer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One fix. Call Precision Garage Door.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Just one simple step can help prevent gun deaths. During Gun Violence Awareness Month, experts say safe firearm storage, keeping guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition, can save lives. Dr. Catherine Hoops with the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions says it's a critical step.
Safe storage reduces the risk of suicide and unintentional shootings, protecting children and families, and preventing tragedies before they happen.
Learn more at everyguneverytime.org.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
The U.S. Supreme Court is upholding bans on biological boys competing against girls or women in school sports. The decision's already being called a big win for women's rights. 2 school-aged children recovering in the hospital if they were shot while sleeping in their home. And a couple of surprises at the World Cup on Monday. Mexico plays Ecuador tonight. Mexico City. We'll get more on that coming up 10 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 9:34.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay continues to be on 35 northeast side of town. This report sponsored by ExpressPros.com. That's roadwork 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. It's a 55, 60-minute delay. Backup starts at Schwab Road. 2 right lanes are closed. What you can do for an alternate is exit at FM 1103 and then head south to FM 78 to Papago Road to get back on to 35 southbound. Your logistics business moves fast. Is your team keeping up? Express Employment Professionals connects you with qualified talent fast. Express helps you hire smarter, stay productive. Visit expresspros.com for an office. Express Employment Professionals, respecting people, impacting business. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
A hot day for our Tuesday with hazy sunshine, the high of 93. It's still breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and warm, the low 76 along the Riverwalk and 73 in Hill Country. Sunday to partly cloudy with a steady afternoon breeze on Wednesday and the high 95. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
82 degrees in the real feel, 92 at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
We're getting this ruling now in the Supreme Court on the birthright citizenship. Let's go right to Shannon Brink.
Sotomayor, Kagan, Barrett, and Jackson joined. Jackson has a concurring opinion in which Sotomayor joins. Justice Kavanaugh files an opinion concurring in the judgment and dissenting in part. The dissent comes from Justice Thomas. He is joined by Gorsuch, Alito, and then Justice Gorsuch apparently has his own dissenting opinion. So it is what we expected after the arguments here, and it looks like a bit of a split, but enough of a plurality coming together to say that the executive order that the president issued very quickly upon taking office is no good, and that if people are here, subject to the jurisdiction thereof includes people who are here illegally. Writing for the majority, Chief Justice Roberts says this: citizenship then and now was the right to have rights to freely participate in our political community. Talking about the 14th Amendment, the framers of the 14th Amendment extended that promise to every freeborn person in this land. That's a quote, and it looks like it's a quote back to some of the legislative debate about this in Congress. He says we keep that promise today. So a loss probably expected by the Trump White House, but it is official, and it's a thick one, so we'll keep reading.
Okay.
Right, thank you so much. Let's bring in Jonathan.
Thank you very much. So there you go on the birthright citizenship. Not a surprise. John Roberts, Amy Coney Barrett, and apparently Brett Kavanaugh, although he was not listed in the opinion, he wrote a concurring opinion on the side. And so now you've got this, and that you just heard it live, so we don't have any further details other than President Trump's banning his ban of of birthright citizenship has now been done away with.
Right, and the very brief explanation we got there from Shannon Bream was really too quick to kind of make our way through the argument as to what they're claiming, or it's kind of dense stuff, so I didn't really get what the argument is for not upholding this. So we'll have to dig into it deeper. Obviously, this is just coming down right now.
John Roberts said, she just mentioned, he said in his opinion on this that the framers of the 14th Amendment gave that right to everyone, every free citizen who was born in the United States, and they can't come back and take that away.
But that's just saying he's doing it. He's not giving an argument as to what led to his thinking to that decision.
No. So that's going to be interesting. Do they try to advance that in any other way? Do they try to change that amendment? Do they try to rescind that amendment? What are they going to try to do now? Because they can. I mean, an act of Congress can change the Constitution or change the law.
It's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Which shouldn't be.
It is very difficult. It's very difficult. But they can, and it's going to be interesting to see if they will. I bet they won't, because they don't have the guts to do what they're supposed to do with the Save America Act.
Well, yeah.
So now, according to the Supreme Court, you can indeed be an illegal alien. You can come into the United States. You can have your child here. Your child has all the rights and privileges the same as a child who was raised here and born here in the United States. So now people of foreign descent can decide our leadership and can decide our taxes, how we're taxed, when we're taxed, how much we're taxed, and so on and so forth. And I mentioned the biggest issue right now that we have on that is China. China has specifically exploited this amendment of the U.S. Constitution to create tons, 1.5 million so far, American citizens who were brought here, who had babies here. Those babies are American citizens. Then they are taken back to China. They are raised and educated in China in their schools with the communist thinking. Then, after they graduate from their schools as full-blown Chinese communists, they then move back to the country where they are a citizen, and they have the voting rights of citizens of the United States. Voting for what? Communism. That's the end game here. That's the play here.
But, yeah, you're right. I mean, I agree that's what's going on. That you want to get people across that border that fit into that long plan. We've been talking about the long game all day. As far as people in general, I think they have a reaction to the questioning of birthright citizenship, because on the topsoil, it just seems to make sense, right? Well, if you're born here, you should be an American citizen. You know what I mean? If you don't think too deeply about it and you're not factoring in.
If you don't understand the issue.
What I'm saying, if you're not factoring in China, if you're not factoring in South America and Venezuela, if you're not factoring in a lot of these other folks who are coming in for that very purpose or for that app, you just kind of hit it in the feels like, well, yeah, if you're born here, you should be an American citizen. And that's why I think a lot of people were, maybe against this idea. And it was very, sometimes unpopular. But of course, the people that thought it was unpopular with Trump are, whatever if Obama had suggested this, it might have been a different story. But it's not going away anytime soon.
The problem with that amendment was it was an amendment to the U.S. Constitution. It was not just a law that had an expiration date on it. It should have had an expiration date on it saying if you are the children of slaves, then absolutely you are a citizen who has all the rights and privileges of being a citizen in the United States, because that's what it was designed for. But that's not how they wrote it, and that's not how although the people who wrote it and the people who passed it, that's exactly what they said in their writings. I read it to you this morning. That's what they said it was for.
Right. Shannon Bream's talking again. She's making her way through this thing live on the air.
All right, so let's, Dawn, go ahead and pot her up, and let's see what she's got to say about it.
Suppose that a person's only connection to this country is that he was born here to a mother who was present just long enough to give birth and then quickly return to her native country. Suppose that country is a strategic adversary or enemy of the United States.
China.
Suppose the child never visited the United States while growing up and was inculcated with hatred of this country. According to this court now, that person person is a citizen of the United States. He can enter and leave the country as he pleases. He can travel the world on a United States passport. Even if he plots to harm this country, he cannot be deprived of his status as a citizen, at least under current precedent. He goes on to say that this decision today also provides a powerful incentive to enter or remain in this country illegally. He goes on to say, in my judgment, the court has made a mistake that will seriously affect the country's future. So some very pointed dissents here from those who raised these very big concerns during the arguments. And they're real world scenarios, which are not a fantasy. They're not a movie. I mean, these things that can actually happen now under this ruling that you have today from the majority.
Thank you, Shannon. Bring back Trey Gowdy. Trey,
go ahead. What were you going to say, Sean?
Oh, just real world scenarios. That's what we're talking about here. Again, that's kind of what I was alluding to a second ago, in that if you just hit people with the question without the real world situations or the real world abuses of this, most people would probably say, well, yeah, if you're born here, you should be a citizen. But you have to factor in how that system is being used, which is what she was talking, or with the dissent, in that it is being used to target this country. It is being used for nefarious reasons. It is being used to get people in here who are going to try to tear this country apart.
Let me repeat myself. China has been doing that. China's done this to 1.5 million Chinese people that they have brought into this country with this express purpose, Sean. Right. This was their plan. This is not it just happenstance. They came up with a plan to exploit the 14th Amendment. Now, illegal aliens south of our border do that all the time.
Sure.
And we have hospitals all along our border, and you and I pay for the birth of these people. They get pregnant over there, then they come here, and they have the babies here, and their babies. And then what that is called, it's called chain migration.
Sure.
Then the whole family's allowed to come. In the case of China, and this is what she was talking about, in the case of China, they do it to exploit the 14th Amendment to create people who hate this country and want to do this country harm. That's what the dissent said.
Right, and she said it's not the stuff of movies, it's not the stuff of pop culture. This is actually going on. This is a real-world situation. And again, I think the problem with the opinion, with the upholding of birthright citizenship, is it's almost like it's purely philosophical, and it's not taking into account how that system is being abused by all manner of ways, including the Chinese. So no, not a good day, especially if you're Donald Trump.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get Jack's thoughts on it. I want to tell you about Wealth Watch Advisors. There are so many of these, all kinds of investment firms that are out there. Some of them, and I won't say fly by night, but they're on every corner, and they've got a shingle hanging out there, and so you can stop by and they'll come up with a plan for you. Hey, I got a plan for you. It's the same plan they offered to people that stopped in before. That's not Wealth Watch Advisors. Wealth Watch Advisors has offices in San Antonio, a different kind of planning firm. They focus on so much more than just your investments, because so much more goes into deciding what the right tools are for you, where your income is going to come in the next 20, 30, 35 years, and making sure that you've got tax mitigation, estate and legacy planning behind all that, retirement income mapping, where you're coming up with your retirement income, and insurance concerns, and so much more, because you're going to have costs that you're going to have to know about. You're going to have to be able to put it together that all this makes sense. These fiduciary advisors at Wealth Watch Advisors take the time to understand the entirety of your situation and come up with a plan that's going to work specifically for you, knowing that at some points, your plan is going to change, and they have the flexibility to be able to do that at Wealth Watch Advisors, and the smart people to be able to do that for you as Wealth Watch Advisors. As Wealth Watch Advisors. Everybody's different. Every situation is unique, and they understand that at Wealth Watch Advisors. Reach out to them and see if they're right for you. I did this weeks ago, and I love them. Wealth Watch Advisors, 210-249-5360, wealthwatchadvisors.com. This message is a paid endorsement. Investment advisory services offered through Wealth Watch Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results. AccuWeather forecast, mostly sunny, mid-90s for the high today. Right now, it is already very warm, 80 at KTSA.
Good morning. This road work on 35 still causing delays. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Southbound 35, Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. We've got 2 right lanes closed. Road work has you slow from FM 1103. 35 southbound Rittiman, that stalls in the right lane, and a stalled 18-wheeler, 281 northbound Boulevardy Road, now off to the shoulder. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline 877-MADD-HELP or MADD.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Energy efficient windows from a local family-owned company. Call me, the window guy, at Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588 or visit precisionwindowssa.com.
I've got Anthony LaBarbera here, owner of Texas Rhino Shield, and he brought his son Colton along today. Hey guys, I gotta ask, how many San Antonio homeowners are walking around right now with peeling, cracking, fading exteriors, not knowing there's a better solution?
Trey, way too many. And honestly, the Texas sun is the biggest culprit. UV rays beat down on your home year after year, and traditional paint just cannot hold up.
That's exactly why we created Rhino Shield. It's a ceramic coating, not paint, that reflects those UV rays and keeps your color looking fresh and vibrant for decades.
And you stand behind it with a warranty, right, Anthony?
25 years, guaranteed no peeling, no chipping, no cracking on every surface, wood, brick, stucco, steel, vinyl, even your roof. And Trey, we have a special going right now. Call us for a free quote and ask how you can save up to $2,500 on your project.
Up to $2,500 in savings. Call 855-RHINO-TX or visit TexasRhinoShield.com. Texas Rhino Shield. It's not paint.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is Dr. Mark Havercorn of River City Oral Surgery, 210-778-0002. Are you ready for the holidays, the food, and the photos? Yes, I know it's only summertime, but replacing your teeth with dental implants and having beautiful, strong, and pain-free teeth takes time. Watch out. Some companies don't tell you that replacing the teeth with implants is a process. Yes, you have your temporary teeth on the day of surgery, but the final teeth are made a few months after surgery. No matter where you have surgery, you won't be wearing the final beautiful teeth for a few months. At River City Oral Surgery, I do the surgery and work with a prosthodontic specialist who makes the teeth. Don't sit through a high-pressure sales pitch from a more expensive center that doesn't even use specialists. But you've got to start soon to be completely finished and enjoying the new final teeth by the holidays. Call us, River City Oral Surgery, for your dental implants and oral surgery needs. 210-778-0002.
Stay on top of the latest news wherever you are. Stream KTSA on the go. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Give me back my bullets. That's what I need, son. Ronnie Van Zant. Okay. 9:50, Ware and Rima, KTSA. No Jack today. No crosstalk with Jack today. He's coming up at 10:03. You know, very interesting point being made just a couple of minutes ago. One of the commentators on Fox talking about these rulings, and I think it's legitimate that John Roberts is a political animal for the left. And,
sure.
As the Supreme Court justice that he is, and the head of the Supreme Court by position, he doesn't want to see it packed. Doesn't want to see more seats added, which the Democrats are going to do.
Sure.
If they win the midterms, guys, get ready, because this country is going to be radically different this time next year if they win the midterms. And I do mean radically. I'm not talking about, look, the Democrats get back in power, which is going to happen eventually. They're not going to play the little game. They're not going to play footsies. They're going to go all out, balls to the wall, and get it done. You watch. They're not going to play around anymore.
They're going to button this thing up so tightly that nobody will ever – they'll own the whole circus forever, man.
You'll have a huge Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You'll have an open border. You'll have gun rights going away. It's all going to happen. It's going to happen.
You pointed out. They say it.
2 new states. All these things are going to happen if the Democrats win. John Roberts looking at the expansion of the Supreme Court and says, well, maybe if I toss them a couple of bones here, if I throw a couple of things, they're not going to do it. That's not who these people are, guys. Listen to me. They're not going to back down just because John Roberts joins the decision, yesterday on the voting, which was just ridiculous, and today on birthright citizenship. That's insane. And besides, I think he really feels that way. I think he feels genuine about these issues.
I almost feel like the win on trans sports is almost tossing Donald Trump a bone.
Exactly what
you
it
know what I mean? Almost the reverse of what you're saying, and that the other rulings are what he actually believes.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the guy who reconfigured the fines concerning Obamacare into a tax. Trump is reacting to the trans sports thing and saying it's a big win, and certainly it is. They're showing this kind of got me in the feels. You see a bunch of young ladies outside of the Supreme Court, and they're crying and hugging each other. So, yeah, it's a good ruling for them. But the birthright citizenship and the mail-in ballots, whew, man. Again, these are two subjects that really kind of cut at the foundation of what we are.
Well, those two combined will change who we are as a people.
That's what I mean. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have corrupt elections as a result of the, in a sense, codification of mail-in ballots as a way to hold an election. And birthright citizenship, you just get them across the line, Trey, and they become American citizens, even if they're Chinese operatives.
Or whoever.
Or whomever. Islamic weirdos, or fundamentalist Islamic terrorism, and all that kind of stuff.
It's this one in particular was just horrendous for the United States of America and where we are and what's going on, not only politically, but in terms of danger to the United States. In terms of us. Go ahead. I don't know what you're going to say.
No. Same thing you're saying. I mean, Shannon Bream said it. We were watching Trey Gowdy. You cannot separate the question itself from the real-world abuses that are going on, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you cannot separate those. It's not the same question that was being asked in 1868. It's not the same question that was being asked prior to this moment we're in. If you're born here, you're a citizen. Why? Because you have to include the factor that it's being abused for dark purposes. You can't separate that out.
Well, and now you don't have a Congress. You have a president who would sign it, but you don't have a Congress that would do a constitutional amendment or any other type of law that they could wrangle themselves into because they won't even pass the Save America Act. This Congress is okay with our system being cheated. Not for us, not for American citizens,
right?
But for those who would seek to do us harm in any number of ways, financially and or through terrorists or whatever. They have opened the door now for an all-out assault on the United States with the ruling yesterday on voting and the ruling today on birthright citizenship, and they will be exploited to the detriment of this country. So maybe we made it 250 years and that's it.
Both are wins for the bad guys, man. There's really no other way to look at it. And again, Shannon Bream is on there breaking it all down. I mean, we have obviously when we come back tomorrow, we'll have read through a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm very happy about the trans sports. But, the trans sports, in a sense, don't chip away at the very foundations. Culturally, yes. Scientifically, yes. But the mail-in ballots ruling and this one today with birthright citizenship certainly kick at the legs of this table, man.
I would
different
say
way than the trans sports thing does.
I would say that they would have tried to get rid of that, but they could not twist themselves into any position because of Title IX. And if they would have, if they could have,
I'm sure.
If they could have, they would have found a way to crap can Title IX and allow that to be the law of the land. But Title IX is one of those things that is just too explicit. It is right there for them to, say, okay, we can do as justices, we don't have the right, although Roberts did it with Obamacare, we don't have a right to rewrite the law and effectively put an X across Title IX. We can't do that as justices. If they could have found a way to do it, those two would have.
Well, in order to do that, you sort of have to embrace the idea that somehow it's fluid and gender identity is something subjective and as opposed to objective, meaning, there are physical damn differences between men and women. You can't really deny that, what with your own eyes to be true. So you would have to accept some of that as being true, I would think, in order to completely do away with Title IX, which doesn't make any sense.
Now, again, the Democrats are not going to change. They are still going to scream.
No.
they're still going to scream about a Supreme Court that is conservative. They're still going to scream that we need to pack the Supreme Court. Although it's very clear this Supreme Court is anything but conservative.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would agree, especially these two rulings. Again, the trans in sports thing feels like something they just tossed the conservatives so they can claim that they're a conservative Supreme Court, but these other rulings obviously undo that. Although I'm happy for the women in this country. I'm happy for girls in sports.
Sure.
But it doesn't make it a conservative court. And you're right. No matter, even though we would largely consider these to be two wins for the left, if they get back in, they're certainly still going to stack the deck on the Supreme Court.
This time tomorrow, they're still going to be screaming about packing the Supreme Court. That's not going to change. So
I agree.
I would anticipate that coming up at 10:03, Jack will be able to break some of this down. He's going to have probably some guests on. Is that right, Elaine? Yes, he'll have some great constitutional attorneys on. Some people who have these rulings in their hands are going to be able to do it. But so far today, men cannot play in women's sports, but if you're preggers and you're an illegal alien, come on in, because your child will be a citizen of the country, and then the rest of the family can join your child here and, of course, take advantage of everything that the American citizens pay for on a day-to-day basis. Hey, great, wonderful.
And we brought it to you live, Trey. We brought it to you live.
And, of course, yesterday you'll be able to count votes for a month and a half.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I'm going to go to the library and try to vote tomorrow.
Yeah. Count votes for a month and a half or however long you need to count them so the dictator can stay in office. We'll see you tomorrow.
Spread the love. Don't be a jerk. Bye.
Don't forget, Thursday morning live at KTSA.